We're in the Q short right now. We're in the AMD short right
how's
now.
That? How's your tire search rolling?
I like that. It's rolling. It's rolling. It's
downhill like these markets.
Whoa, Adara. All right, good. Yeah, I know you were attached on to the. Yeah, no, sorry, my bad. Okay, let's. What's up, everybody? No, tires going fine. Thing is, there's so many different tires.
Yeah.
There's this, there's that. You want to get good brand. You want to get, you know. And I'm telling these guys, like, this is the thing. When you're dealing with individual mechanics, it's like, you know how they talk and this and that, and so
it can
it's
be
like,
a little
tiring. Negotiating back in here, it's a little tiring sometimes.
Yeah. Ramin got a laugh. I got a laugh.
Oh, that was a really good one, man. And then how's your search going? How's it rolling? Like that was pretty good as well, Obi. But you could see. I mean, look at this, man. We're short the TQs right now. I mean, it's 100 handles in the money.
Let's go.
Like we just went short. Like we just right there. Look at that. The 50 period. Could you take a look at that? The 50 period. Would you look at that? The 50 period moving average. Take a look at that.
Apparently.
You know, right there. Look at that. And we keep on getting lower and lower and lower. So, I mean, what's up, Adara? Good job there. You must be tired, huh? A little bit. Oh, you got some quesadillas going on.
Got some solid shorts there on Netflix. Netflix through Lode and the Tesla short.
All right, she's still in it.
All
right, Obi, I'm going to load up the stream. So why don't you have a little talk about whatever you're trying to talk about?
Yeah, no.
And I will get the stream loaded and get into the Q&A.
Sure. Yeah. No. I'm kind of just watching some of this. This price action just bleed to the downside here. I got this morning. It was funny enough. I was telling Sean and some of my pod members as well, being like, "Oh, the spider is doing 2.5 times relative volume." In the pre-market, it's not very often that happens. But I even said to Sean, I looked over, I was like, yeah, I mean, it could mean something, it could mean nothing. But what I've found is that the probability of a strong move on the day does go up a little bit, and I think that probability is fully coming into effect as the spider or the ES continuing to make fresh lows all the way to the downside here on the day today. Clean downtrend there. Bit of regrets not continuing this trade here on Hood. You can see it kind of double topped at that 39 underneath that VWAP, giving me another chance to potentially get short on at a few places there. Maybe 39s and 39s and 38 halves as well. But continuing to push a little bit lower. Hood is down 17%, 17.5% on the day, Sean, and 41 was the place to short. Like I said before, I'm holding on to it's a piece. It's insignificant, but the reason why I'm holding on is I want to put in that rep to hold on to trades longer. So again, we were talking about Adara's lesson on the day was on personality, on getting to know yourself as a trader. And I think to be honest, no offense to Joe or Sharif, I think that's probably one of the best lessons on how to trade that we've had on the stream, because everyone talks. Everyone talks.
Already the best one.
I'm telling you. Everyone talks about indicators. Everyone talks about learning indicators. Everyone talks about learning strategies.
Yeah,
nobody talks about learning more about themselves.
Right.
And that's very, very significant. So that's why I say that. Right. It's like, okay, the biggest journey in trading for me was learning more about myself and applying a lot of that to my trading and trading my style like that. So it's like. Shout out for that lesson. I was not expecting that, but that was pretty good.
Huge lesson. I mean,
good stuff.
You know, we don't have enough kind words to say. Adara has been doing great. And the funny thing is like so she just gave you a better lesson than you really enjoyed it. Not better.
I'm saying the value of that lesson.
The value of the lesson is Adara's been trading for greater than a year.
Yeah.
Just over a year. So there you go. So it just shows, the more reading you do.
Some good expected value in that lesson.
The passion that you have goes a long way. So we want to thank you, Adara, for that. Okay, without any further ado, I mean, we've skipped this before, but we don't skip it when Joe's here. It's like skipping leg day, you know what I mean? We're not going to do that. So right now we do have, we might do that at some point, but right now we do have the rundown. So are we ready to go, Ramin? Okay, so I will get locked and loaded with myself as well. And let's go over to the big screen
rundown
with the handsome man himself. It's Options Joe.
Let's go.
That is right, Sean. We do not skip leg day around here. And Obi, no offense taken. I agree on the psychology lesson. Absolutely. It is clearly important, guys. 70% psychology, 30% technical, as some like to call it. But let's get into some of these names, guys. Make sure you vote on the poll with Adara and I. It's too late for that now, but we got some names and some good names to talk about here in the rundown. So Tesla shares are trading lower. The stock has been under pressure and amid rising Chinese EV competition and Europe protest here, guys, down over 13% on the session. Not a good look here in Tesla. Where's the bottom, guys?
Where's the bid at?
Oh, we kill it, man. I mean, look, I don't think it's rocket science today, man. Honestly, I mean, I don't think today was overly the hardest day by any stretch of the imagination. We had written down here right off the jump, right? That, and again, what we write down is different than what we actually trade because we have to be there for these trades. But the number one trade idea today was shorting Tesla. The number two one was shorting Hood. The number three one was shorting the Nasdaq. Then my number one P&L name today is Palantir, and it's off the long. So we're going to get to all that, although Palantir's obviously fallen on its face a little bit. Here we go. We just covered some more TQQs. 120 handles.
Oh boy.
In the money. Okay, and you and I talked about that, man. With different account sizes, the amount of money that you can actually make if you put on risk into some of these calls, just like you have Robinhood over there, is astronomical. This is why when we talk about putting on share size, there's only a couple of us in the office that will do that. And honestly, you have to have confidence to be able to do that. But Tesla is just honestly, I wrote down 250, 260. That's where we closed. I mean, I honestly didn't know. I was joking, not joking, but when we talked about where the Nasdaq could go today, I didn't have 4% in mind, but I don't think Tesla had 15% in mind to the downside. No. I think you had mentioned before, it's the fourth largest drawdown day of all time for Tesla. I think we were in the 20s, and then you found one 17%. You asked ChatGPT about all that. So it's getting worse and worse and worse as people worried about Doge, people worried about some of the cars sales that we've seen declines all over Europe, all over China, here in the United States as well. And I mean, people are nervous now about the rhetoric that's being spit about the company, and it's been just poorly executed right there. 2 green days in the last 11. That's not going to help. What a fall down. You are now well below 50% of its highs. It's chopped in half in 2 months. That's pretty disgusting for such a huge name. We lost $1 trillion level. You guys earlier were calling 230, 240, 250. I jokingly said this to Randy last week. Neil was giving him a lot of credit for calling the 280 bottom. All right, it's at 225 right now, and it's not a shot at anybody. I don't know the bottoms exist. I've been buying it. I last bought this thing at 330. So, I mean, it's like the bottom appears to be nowhere in many of these names. And there it is, Tesla with a bunch of question marks. Look, I'm not sure where we go here, but I do question, now? I mean, 230 seems to have been a spot that we were talking about dip buying. So during lunch, I bought more S&P 500. I'm trying to stay away from a lot of these names, but I do think you're getting into a buy zone. I mean, you guys tell me what you think about Tesla, but for me, it's looking pretty buy-ish right now. But do you want to catch a falling sword? I mean, maybe we just wait for the 200 period again. But the problem with that is that's all the way at 280. So this just sliced like butter right through that level. It absorbed it one day and then downside. So mind all these crazy wicks. Tesla looks pretty beat up to me. And I mean, not much else to talk about. Right now, so
pretty aggressive selling.
You were short. You're still short.
I was short, and in the I covered a long.
You said Hood on.
I do. Wait, what? No, I have my position.
No, you don't. Hood is out.
No, look.
Hood is still in.
No, it's I think it's the position board. I still have both my Intel and my Hood, but so yeah, we're still in the Hood. But Tesla, yeah, very, very strong selling today. This morning, I got short. I really liked the short. I was like, okay, 250, a little bit of an over-under, kind of consolidated here. You can see that first entry coming in right at that 246 breakdown as we pop into VWAP. Can't really get to 250, and I'm like, all right, well, the risk is a little bit wide here and a little bit spready, but I like the selling that's coming in. And again, higher time frame on Tesla. What we've seen, we talked about that. We talked about it this morning on the weekly. We've had expanding volume. 1 week is not a ticker, but. Yeah, expanding volume as we've been selling down. So yeah, we're getting literally more of the same to start off the week here on Tesla as it breaks that prior bar low on the weekly as well. So that's something else I was looking for. I'm like, can we hold prior week's low? And if we don't, what is the probability that we do more of the same? And that Tesla came in real hot. But did I know it was going to sell off about what 14% on the day? Absolutely not. It took that short from 46s, covered into the 40s, and then VWAP selling.
There's news.
There's news right now.
Trump and Xi apparently talking. I just punched out of the futures.
Yep.
Talking about getting together soon. I didn't hear the exact date, but look, my level 2 is not even loading for the futures right now. They're going pretty hard. I just punched out at 60 there. None of my level 2s, unfortunately, are loading right now. I don't really know what the deal is with that, but I'm hearing in my ear right now that what the heck is wrong? Okay, there it is. Alpha just loaded up there. All right, so it doesn't look like too much is happening right now, but we're going to figure that out. I just heard about President Trump and President Xi are planning on getting together. So there's my punch out right there. We just covered at 59.20. It just shot up 80 handles. Probably premature. We didn't have a whole bunch left again on this call. So let me just wait to see if we hear more about that story. So not 100% sure as it's just fallen back in. But if that's true, then I like that talk, right? If we're going to trade on, tariffs and worries about sort of the global economy, maybe getting together with the second largest economy in the world might be something there with China and the United States. So let's see if we're starting to feel a little bit better. I should not have punched out, but I did. We didn't have a whole bunch left. We still really hit that trade, man. That was a really great one. All right, so S&P futures are getting a pop off the low here. So, all right, maybe some good stuff there. Sorry to interrupt, but I just, all of a sudden the market started going, my quotes weren't working. So I was like,
a little bit of a shake and bake.
What exactly is happening there?
I think that news can definitely it's bringing in some volume right here. Let's see if the bid can finally come in on that. But, it's Tesla's down 14% on the day. I looked up what the worst days in Tesla were, and I just want to go over that really quickly. We're down 14% on the day today. There's 3 dates that GPT got back to me with. September 8th, 2020, it was down 21% on the day. March 16th, that's the COVID drop, 2020, it fell 19%. February 5th, 2020, it declined by 17%. So we're in that territory of some of the strongest declining days on Tesla today. So that's just something to keep in mind. We talked about that expanding volume. Is there any sign of capitulation? It's still grinding slowly to the downside. So we've got to wait for that one there. But yeah, 14% down. Oh boy.
Nah, maybe just like sometimes having too much information. Like I heard it there, we got out, and then the tank resumed. So. Yeah, zero bounce on that news, apparently. We did try to get out, but, we did get out. I think I kind of want to, I'm feeling like long now. I feel like we're overdone, but I mean, it's only down 4%, so. Okay.
See what's going on with Nvidia.
Joe, tell me I should go long Nvidia or something.
Looking like it right now there, Katina, man. DeepSeek news not quite over yet, guys. Down over 5% on the session, so dragging the Qs down with it. About 20%, more than 20% off of those all-time highs. Nvidia is down and continuing to bleed here, guys. Going to run into some key support levels. Let's see if these hold up. Let's see what the big boys think about NVDA.
All right. I mean, I just put a keystroke error in, but I just went long. I'm going to go long again. So look, man, I mean, I'm going to put in a drop of 105. I meant to put 105.99. I put 106.99. We just bought that. So we were just long at 106.80. Okay, and I'm going to go long. So I'm going to just... Again, the bottom is $1 away. So we don't want to, oh, wow. Okay, here we go. We definitely like this one. We're now 30 cents in the money. We did buy a little bit earlier there. And we put out our wrong stop. Let's see if we get to the high side. 107.22s or so would be nice. Let's get out 5% if we get up there. All right, so I'm back. There it is. Did we get that? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Chicken didn't win out. The beef was pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, we had...
it's a little oily.
We had some turkey.
Oh, yeah. How was
What'd you call me?
What?
Turkey?
Gobble, gobble?
Yeah. You like Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I like turkey. Turkey's solid. A little bit of smoked turkey.
I think that's what it was today, some little smoked turkey.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, let's go with Nvidia. Look, I think that this Chinese news, I was just thinking about it. I was like, I want to try to get long something. And, maybe some sort of exemption with something. I mean, that's why I went over to Tesla, and I was like, what about Tesla? Tesla might work out as well. Look, there's going to be some buyers that are going to come into this market. Whether or not they know more than us or we know more than them, I have no idea. But at the end of the day, I think the market would deserve a little bit of a rally, at least back to VWAP. And to think that that's not possible would be, you'd have to be kidding yourself, because we've already done it twice. We did it right there at 11 o'clock. We did it again at 12:30. Let's do it at 2:30, right? Hopefully. So a rip back up there would give us way the juice that we need. We're only long right here. We're now 40 cents in the money. I'm going to get out another piece, another 3 or 4% here if we can, and then just see if we can let this thing go to the upside. Look, it's been beat up, man. It's the #1 name for me to go in there and buy on dips. I haven't done any buying yet. We did buy the S&P 500 March 5th. We bought it again today. So I really like Nvidia. Their actual quarter was pretty rock solid, man. It's a rock star of a company. We know that. And I don't think DeepSeek, and I know Joe brought this up, but look, man, they're doing it for cheaper. They're doing it faster. But they're still using Nvidia chips. It does make me a little bit worried to hear some of these stock prices falling the way they are. I wonder if some CapEx will come out of stocks like Microsoft and Google and Meta. And by that, I mean maybe they stop buying chips. If they don't have the market cap to sort of support some of these decisions, then maybe they slow down and regroup. But at the end of the day, I'm not overly worried. I do like Nvidia. And there it is, man. We just got another fill on that name. So another out right there at 30s, ahead of the 200 period moving average. We just bought the dip a little bit. I like it, but if we break 106, we're gone. So the bottom of the day right here is 106.20. I think it's worth it for a long. If there's going to be any stock that rallies back, I would figure it could be Nvidia. Down 5%, I like it. But I do think that AMD, it's funny because we'll only be read basically on, well, not basically, on one name today. That's going to be Advanced Micro Devices. And that's because we didn't take it, well, I mean, that was nice. But we didn't take enough advantage of this. We didn't short the maximum amount of shares that we definitely should have. We were more short in here, so it'll be slightly red, but I really like AMD. Maybe that's the long, because you're only down 2.5%, right? While on Nvidia, you're down 5%. So let's hold this a little tight to our chest here. If we can get some 108s VWAP, I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to offer up there 107.50 first step, and then we'll go from there. But I don't know what you're feeling. I just want to see what happens here with Nvidia.
Yeah, so something to note that I noticed earlier was we've been selling off a little bit for the past couple of weeks. We did a bit of a V shape on Friday. We couldn't really get there. That aggressive bid off of the open kind of pulls us back in below that 110 level and then eventually takes us all the way down here. But yeah, a bit of a pre-market breakdown as well. But interesting action here when that pre-market low comes in, consolidates, and we sell off lower, and then the bid cannot get it past this 109. Look at this intraday double top, making lower highs off of this consolidation. Again, got to look at it like in terms of like a story. What's being painted here? Sellers came in, buyers tried to meet, and then you can't get back above that 109, 110, and then we continue, even though we get aggressive buying from the day low, we continue to make lower highs, and all of this is happening in and around that VWAP. So definitely pretty I guess, bearish, if you ask me. We're just like it continues to show you that buyers cannot get this ticker up above some key prices, not only from the pre-market but intraday as well. But right now we're making some lows at 106s. So let's see if we're poised to go a little bit lower here with those lower highs and lower lows coming in on Nvidia, not only on the intraday but on the daily as well. Again, you got to remember this thing is pulling back off of its all-time highs. So we just look at the weekly here. We can see, oh boy. 1 week. Okay. So if you look at the weekly here, you can see how aggressive of a pullback we're getting here off of some of those highs. Bit of a double top high, kind of very similar to what the Bitcoin chart kind of looks like there at its double top at that 110 underneath that 110 area. But you can see a bit of a bigger picture trend break with this selling coming in here. So got to go down to horizontal support. So 100 could be the next stop. I have no idea, but let's see if this little bit of a resistance in the past turns into support like it had done over here on that August 5th low, just shy of that 100 mark. So we went down to 91s, 90, I think that low is 91s. Yeah, so 90.69 is what we went down to, and then we're coming right back, pulling back into some of those areas. So the week has just begun, Sean.
Isn't that crazy?
And a lot of these tickers kind of showing us who is in charge. So Nvidia definitely being a market leader. I think it's one we got to keep on watch.
I just realized, man, we have to do this segment, and poor Joe's been sitting there, and we've been blabbing on and on and on. All right, Joe, a name that I know is near and dear to many of our hearts. Let's go talk a little bit about crypto and Bitcoin.
Here we are, Sean. Some analysts still bullish here, claiming that Bitcoin will still hit 500,000 before Trump leaves office. We know we got that strategic stockpile. I'm curious to where this leads us. Let's see what the big boys think about Bitcoin and IBIT.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely not leading us anywhere near 500,000. So we'll wait to see there. And if it is, man, then we got a little bit of a move to make here before we get to those levels. So let's just stay calm, cool, and collected here because IBIT's down another 10% today. So if crypto's getting anywhere near 500,000, then we got to get going pretty quick. 500,000, right? Was what it was. So not 10,000, but again, we're a hell of a lot closer to 10,000 than we are 500,000. So I don't know what is next, but honestly, we had written down IBIT today at $50. Never got anywhere near the close. I mean, the market basically sold off completely all day. So yeah, I just looking at Bitcoin. First of all, you can see it at the bottom there. It's 78.6. So I know Randy's loading up Bitcoin, but the thing is. Maybe you're not, right, Randy? No, you're not even close to doing that. Your Tesla bottom is now at 220, by the way. So there we go on that one. Solana.
Free coffee for Elon.
You won again?
Let's go. Nice. Free coffee. What? You haven't rolled yours up
Today
yet.
I paid for it. But no, what do you know? Here, this is for you. We'll get it next time. Keep it there.
Aww.
Yeah, next time we'll get it, man. Don't worry about it. We'll get it next time. All right, I'll roll mine up. Hey, did you try the ones on the app yet?
They're all gone. Used them all.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because today would be on my app. Okay, good. So I'll do that live on the air.
Does it
Wow.
roll up on
This
the
guy
app?
wins again. Yeah, every purchase you make, it doesn't have to be
no way,
coffee or anything like that. You get one roll up the.
So Randy's been winning.
He's been winning in life, man. This guy's winning all the time.
So he's got a high hit rate there.
Except for on Tesla, but we're all in that same boat. But no, I wanted to just talk about some of these other what they call altcoins, otherwise known as other kind of coins. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, Fabian just said it there. 75 cents for Cardano, just down 30% this week. Solana just down another 25% this week. Bitcoin, and Ethereum all getting absolutely crushed. So as we have liquidity dry up in the overall market, man, there's going to be no love for crypto. You're going to need it. We talked about the correlation with Bitcoin and the Nasdaq, and honestly, man, I feel very, very strongly about it, especially right now. The Nasdaq is down at 200 period moving averages, so is crypto. We're well below it. I don't think there's any reason to do anything until we get a little bit of a better answer down here. So you might as well at this point wait for 71 or 72. I don't think we're incoming today, but we could be incoming tonight, tomorrow morning. If the market opens up down another 2% tomorrow, I mean, we're still not even think about closing. We still got an hour and a half here today. Then we have earnings with Oracle. Things could get even nastier on that one. So I'd say be patient with Bitcoin, man. It doesn't look like we're going anywhere but down right now. I'll be buying. I'll buy at 74, 75 and just ahead of those levels. And again, I'm trying to play for the long term. And if I drive everything right into the ground, well, then so be it. I only got 3 kids,
I mean, I think that's a true hodl mentality, right? It's like we're just we're never. Isn't that what Trump said? He said we're never selling.
It's not investing, right? It's literally.
And then it marks the tops.
Like you could invest in Bitcoin. That's what hodling would be.
Yeah.
I mean, but I asked you this question: when are you selling? You said never. That's hodling.
Yeah.
Like if you're worried about Bitcoin, then I do think a bump back up into that 90, 92 area, it could happen. And that's 10, 15% from here. So I think if you were doing the scalp, I think you could do that with Bitcoin at these levels. Yeah. I'd rather it come to more support, 72, buy the 72, see if you get it back to 85, maybe scalp out and then hold the core piece. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So
no, I definitely like that. I think Bitcoin
exhausted.
Over the limited years I've been exposed to the market, I feel like Bitcoin has always been a pretty solid scalp vehicle. But yeah, if you've been holding from some of the lower lows, then yeah, you're basically chilling. But you've sat through some decent volatility. We take a look at this pullback from 2021. You can see that we pulled back 75, almost 77% from the highs before we finally caught a bid again. So it's like, yeah, how much more can Bitcoin pull back? Well, you got to understand that 50, 60, 70, maybe even 90 to 100% pullbacks are more than normal on this ticker over time. And that would mean if we take a 75% pullback from those highs, Sean, that would mean we're dropping down to 26s, 25s. But I don't know about that low just yet. Let's take a look at some of the other bust stops we have on the way to some of those lower prices here. Just that prior high is sitting at 73.8, right? And that's what we kind of broke out from. Now my Bitcoin doesn't have that many lines or technicals on it, but it does have some significant ones in my opinion. You can see this is the breakout that we had, and you can see that breakout confirmed with expanding volume through that 70 for the push into 100. We tried to push higher, it was grinding, we broke that trend, we false broke the high, and then now we're getting some selling stepping back in. So where can I find a bid? I have no idea, but maybe if I'm gonna look at it from a classic case of resistance turned into support, this trend resistance from the breakout that we had earlier last year is all the way down at 65. So that's why I think when Joe asked me a little bit earlier, I was like, yeah, if we're going to crack this trend, which already kind of showed us at the end of last year, and we false broke the highs, I'm like, all right, if this pulls back, I think the highest probability to look for buyers could be at this prior support and resistance level that's down at that 65. So, but yeah, a little bit of a downturn. And we talk about sell the news events, and I think that being introduced into like a Bitcoin reserve is definitely some strong news that this ticker, this asset has been waiting for many years. So I don't know.
It's funny, you wait for something, and you wait for something, and when it comes, you don't want it anymore, right? I mean, I think it's not bad news, that's for sure.
No, it's not bad.
Can't be bad news. So, all right, we're loaded up into Nvidia right now. Let's go back over and find out what Alibaba's saying.
Yep, stockpile is a good thing, I think, for Bitcoin there. OB, all right, guys, Alibaba unveils new AI chip to power China's open source tech push, challenging U.S. chip giants. We got BABA down more than 6% on the session, guys. These Chinese ADRs have been performing drastically better than the S&P and the Nasdaq. Let's see what the boys think about Alibaba.
Oh boy.
I haven't really looked at Alibaba today, to be honest with you, as I continue to watch out for Nvidia, but down 6%. I mean, did he say performing worse than the rest of them? I mean, Alibaba is really just in the pocket right here, I feel like, on the day, right? I'm going to sort my leaderboard by percentages here, and yeah, it's pretty nasty. Yeah, it's Alibaba Coin down 15%. Mara down 15%. Some of the crypto names absolutely getting destroyed here today, but Alibaba's not, definitely not one to be ignored. That is for sure. So Alibaba, yeah, huge downside move today, down that 6%. We had most recently talked about selling the top of that, and I'm not trying to get too cute with it. You know, we had held some. We actually got out at 140, which was pretty good, right into there. So look, man, China's not going to be. I know we kind of screwed that up when we got out of our futures trade, which is going to turn out to be nuts when you look back at it. But we were a little nervous there about China. I'm still nervous. I think Donald Trump has some tricks up his sleeve for sure with that. With that president, and wouldn't surprise me if something got interesting there with Alibaba, and I just don't know what it's going to be, but I could see something there. But again, like, if we're going to play this game, we talked about it with Mr. Michael Noss, and that is that there's many economies around the world that are actually performing quite well outside of the United States, right? And so I think China may be one of those. I don't trust any of the numbers that are coming out of there. So for me, for China, I'd stay away. I like the FXI, but I think Alibaba falls back in, right? They're not going to be unavoidable in this tech sell-off. So I like Alibaba. I like it to the downside. I just didn't look at it today. So I'm going to pass on any sort of an analysis there. But look at this VWAP, though. We know we like names at VWAP. Yeah. That was a great short, 136, 135. If it gets back up there, I got a stamp. All right, so just quickly, Nvidia is only an amazing 15 cents in the money, but I'll put a piece out at 83, just see if we can get that. And there it is right there. Give me it. That nut or not? No.
What?
Okay, we'll have to wait for that one. You know Eazy-E?
Yeah.
Yeah, Compton?
Yeah.
Yeah, some good songs.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with all the music. The movie was great. I think
Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah. Straight Outta Compton. I really like that movie, but yeah, I'm not too familiar with a lot of their music, but good stuff. I've heard classic stuff. Yeah.
I could pretty much sing it all, but I can't actually go because I might hit the wrong. You know.
Fair enough. All right, so
ripping, by the way.
If you are long this name today, you might want to call your Baba, and that VWAP hold is you're right. You're 100% right. That stands out right away. So you're like, all right, sellers in charge off of the open. Bit of a gap down underneath prior day's lows. And again, when you're trading these tickers, you definitely want to be watching FXI and the Hang Seng, because that is the market that these trade on, and these are just ADRs. But they do enough volume, and they obviously give enough opportunities that are clear, and you can see that hold of that 135.5. Not only is it a VWAP hold, look at this confluence. It's below opening range low, below pre-market lows. It's just holding on the offer underneath that, and then sellers kind of step right back in after a bit of consolidation underneath that VWAP, kind of showing you who is in charge. But yeah, a lot of opportunity on this one. I wasn't watching this one, unfortunately, and it is doing some relative volume off of the open there. You can see expanding relative volume on the chart here. I have this is a 5-period RVol. It goes from about 2 times to almost up to 5, 6, almost 5 times. 4.9 I have as the highest RVol print there as this breakdown comes in, and we've kind of dissipated on both the relative volume and the volume on the day since then. But yeah, a little bit of sell-off here. Let's take a quick look at the Hang Seng and see if that kind of looks kind of similar here on the day. So yeah, a little bit of selling underneath this VWAP. You can see that test there coming in as well. So a little bit of confluence with their futures.
We're really starting to go, Obi. We have our biggest position on Nvidia all day. It's on right now. It's 60 cents in the money. It's starting to go. We average into this price. We talked about how we liked Nvidia. We talked about how maybe there was a chance for this to get back up to the upside there on that president talk. Again, it's nothing. I mean, normally when you hear some sort of tariff talk or anything like that, then the stock market or the stocks will at least rip fast. This has been a slow grind higher, but we are starting to see some love here for Nvidia. All right, my guy, it's JPMorgan time, and guess what? I will be pulling the trigger on some JPMorgan shares, but maybe today, maybe tomorrow, or maybe in a couple weeks. But I do like the move that's happening on JPMorgan to the downside, getting us better prices. Joe, what you got for us on JPM?
Is it fears of recession here, guys? So down 5% on the day and $50 off of those all-time highs. We're now going 4 consecutive red days here on JPMorgan Chase. The banking giant not looking so good here, guys, in the overall market. Down with the market as well, too. Let's see what Katina Man and Obi feel about JPM.
3 minutes.
That's ridiculous.
Show the people.
Okay. Oh boy.
But is this happening on other stocks?
It's also happening on. We saw it happen on other stocks as well. So So we see. Look at this crazy. This is JPM, guys. This is a bank, right?
Well, it's a bank.
It's one of the bank leaders.
Yeah,
right?
the largest in the world.
Right off of the open, it's doing 50, 60. Almost above 80, 85 is the highest one. 85 times relative volume as it cannot get above VWAP here. Again, we were looking at that XLF chart a little bit earlier as well, and we've only gotten selling coming in. So I was just like, what does that even mean? Does that mean kind of there was like large volume going on here, large relative volume, and then it suddenly drops in and around, what is this, 10:30? So maybe an algo that was turned off at 10:30? I have no idea, but this is going to be interesting. Some of my scans and some charting tonight is definitely going to come in. Well, I don't know what it'll do, but I'm definitely interested in doing more of this and to see if other tickers were kind of exhibiting a similar behavior here. But take a look at JPM on the weekly, guys. Like, this thing is breaking down. This is the weekly. This is a fresh weekly chart. We still have 4 days left. And we got that strong order coming in on the open of the week there as we kind of quadunk back to the downside here. Coming in for a bit of a trend break here as well, it seems. Yeah, look at this. Bit of anchored VWAP tests from last year. And again, if I throw up this trend line here as well, I'm sure, okay, where did we kind of do that from? Okay, cool. I want that to be my first point. And then boom, right here. So you can see we gap down, breaking this trend, and we've kind of been holding since October of 2023. Of course, bigger picture trend, but this bit of acceleration that we've had and that expansion, and you can see the candles getting really long last week from that selling and continuing today. So the question becomes, Sean, if right away, what's going through my mind is like this volume that was traded, I want to take this range right here of all of this volume that was traded, 233.76, 237.50s. I want to see what price does with that range of price going forward for the rest of the week here. Can we get above or can we hold below? But that is definitely interesting. 80-time RVOL in the first hour. Some big boys trading this name today.
I just put a market on close buy.
Okay.
For JPMorgan.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm not trying to mess around. Oh man, how low can we go?
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, look, we've been wanting to get into, I've been saying for a long time, I think Neil was talking about buying that breakout there on XLF. I'll let him talk about it. We had it with Michael Noss. And if Michael does join me tonight on the market recap show, which I believe he's scheduled to do on a Monday, I'm going to ask him about that XLF breakdown and see what he thinks. But for right now, I want to buy some of this starter position or not. The order I just put in was probably for a third of the position I'd like to get. Now, look, we could really come in on this. I don't want to pretend like this is the greatest trade or anything like that, because honestly, you're only right back to where we were pre-election. Like this is the election bump right here, and you're just right back into this level. So, look, I mean, I like the bank, I like the sector, I like everything about the financials this year. Try to get a little more diversified. This is down from 280. I mean, Again, we could ask ChatGPT these things, but at the end of the day, I'm looking at this and saying, when's the last time that you had, all right, so this is from February 20th, it's March 10th. So I was gonna say you have, that's 4 or 5, another bit there. I was gonna say you basically have about 16 or so trading days in there, 3 up days, and they all happen consecutively. So you get 5 straight down days, 3 up days, followed by 7 straight down days. So yeah, I like the stock down here at the 200 period moving average. I'm buying JPMorgan, and I feel fine with that. I mean, it's this XLF that might be XLF AM, right? Here that has broken down as well, down another 3%. And again, if you wanted to like diversify a little bit and not be in just one bank, then you can trade XLF. I think that'd be worth it as well. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs both biting it right now as well. Huge downsides on both of these names. As again, some of that love of, hey, deregulation, maybe there's more mergers and acquisitions. We saw Redfin today. We saw ChargePoint. We saw WBA, Walgreens Boots Alliance, get bought out as well. So maybe that is true. But for right now, I don't think the environment in the United States, it's very murky. Can we say that right now? Both politically and economically. So yeah, banks are going to be in a little bit of trouble. But guess what, man? Banks and prices are forward looking. So, you know, people are already waxing this stock to the downside. So I feel like there is going to be a time where you step in there and you buy it and you just hope that the next story out is a positive one. So like, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Like, I'm not talking about dip buying Google. I'm already loaded to the, you know what? I'm loaded up with Meta. We're loaded up with Apple. The amount of unrealized losses that we've had against our unrealized gains that we had at one point, starting to add up, right? So just be careful, basically, with all of your positions. Make sure you're investing in high quality companies at this stage of the game, and I think you'll be all right. If you do think this is the start of something, then just slow your roll. I mean, again, understand, and this goes back to what Adara's lesson was, right? Understand yourself as a trader, understand yourself as a investor as well. What are your time frames? Like if Neil was here, he would just say, he's leaving it all for his daughter, but at the same time, fine, but you got to leave something. You know, you don't need to let this thing dry up all the way down. So I would say find your pressure points and make sure that you're still somewhat liquid, because I feel like we might be getting that day today where you just mentioned relative volume on many names have been increasing all day, and the worry is there, right? We're worried. There's a lot of people worried about their portfolios, worried about what this market brings, and quite frankly, worried about the current administration and how maybe disingenuous some of the tariff talk has been, because, and I don't mean that against anybody. It's just one day it's there, one day it's off. You know, jokes about April Fool's Day. Like, this is not joking around. You know, there's farmers out there, for example, in Western Canada, and many of you in the States as well, that now have to deal with all these dairy price changes, right? I mean, and again, this has been happening forever. Options were created, I think, back in the 20s, and it was because of reasons for weather, due diligence as far as making sure that they receive the right products. planning forward. So look, a lot of people have planned for this, but many haven't, and it's hard to hedge when you have a fresh product. You talked about OJ futures. I mean, we joked about that last week, and I wanted to bring that up at some point today too.
Yeah.
That chart is insane. Like what's up with that? Once you get it, we'll call it up. But it's just, this is what's going back and forth, man. And honestly, if this is what winning looks like, then maybe being a loser isn't that bad after all, because like, honestly, who's really winning right now? And I heard Chamath say something, one of the most ridiculous things I've heard in a long time, and that was like, oh, this sell-off might be good for Trump's base, because when it gets all the way down, they can sit there and buy, but you got to have money left to buy. And I mean, that's the other thing too. If this winds up costing jobs and really sending inflation through the roof, well then all that money, all that savings that you've had sort of stockpiled, it's going to get used up, man. We could see rents increasing. You're going to see increases at the pump. And I mean, I don't know. We heard the story, and this just seems like another one of my rants, but I'm just sort of talking.
I'm listening.
You're going to see, we did have it last week, and it was something like, or last month, the average US citizen, and maybe this is in North America, Canada's probably not far away from it, only had something like 2 months worth of savings sort of stockpiled, meaning that they could pay rent for 2 months, food for 2 months, clothing, kids, like whatever their responsibilities were. It was something like a 2 to 3 month period. Well, we're getting, I mean, if these stock prices continue to go lower, people are going to lose confidence in their portfolios. They're going to see increases. We had right here, I saw a story this weekend, poultry prices possibly increasing 200 to 250 to 300% in the next month. So, Sharice want to buy all these eggs, all this chicken, like all this stuff is just going higher. Yep. So all that money that you may have saved for stock prices, for lower prices, might just get eaten up naturally by what this economy is doing. So, hey man, I mean, to each their own. This is what the market is. And President Trump said from the jump that he was going after unfair trade practices, and he feels that many of these countries have been treating America, although some of them he signed, taking advantage of past administrations and current trade partners. So yeah, man, maybe this is just righting the ship and we're getting a giant reset right here. And if that's the case, then maybe it is worth buying some of these names.
I mean, you can't forget how strong we've been running for the past couple of years.
I mean, you call it the weekly.
We've had some of the best market years, and euphoria and opportunities in the past couple of years. So, does it make sense to have a strong pullback? Does it make sense for sellers to come in? Sure, maybe. I have no idea, but the fact of the matter is, we've been running pretty strong for a couple of years, and yeah, a little bit of a pullback.
Man, no complaints.
I think more than healthy. Like I've been saying, no regrets. Give me that discount, and I'm more than willing to kind of get myself in there. But yeah, eggs and milk and whatnot might be increasing in prices, but orange juice, definitely not. Okay, so this is the orange juice, frozen concentrate orange juice futures.
When you sent this to me, I was like, it's gotta be.
I can't trade this, but guess what? I wish I could swing this, because would you take a look at that? This is a weekly chart. Sean, this is a weekly chart on orange juice futures.
And where is that where you're
holding?
So
right here, this is November of 2021. Right? November of 2021, to the highs, we've had about a 3,382.5% run
Good thing
on OJ
futures,
Apple juice,
juice,
right?
You know what I mean?
And sure, the contract's like that's different, but the run has been there. And then over the past 12 weeks, so 11 weeks, let's say, because this bar has just started. So over the past 11 weeks, we've lost about 50% of that, 47% down off of those highs there on OJ futures. So I don't know what it means. I don't really know anybody that trades this vehicle. But the chart is the chart, right?
I mean,
strong
just
selling.
the farming side of it, right? It's just like if you're planning to sell your product at a certain price, it's been priced in, and all of a sudden, boom, the bottom falls out of it. I mean, again, you could hedge, right? I mean, if you were an orange juice farmer, you could have got puts, or you could figure that out as far as, I mean, if you're an orange juice farmer, maybe you're not trading puts and calls.
No.
I think Joe just choked over there, but at the same time, I mean, that's what but that's the purpose of the option market.
Yes, yeah.
So,
we'll see.
All right.
I mean, I was looking at cocoa futures as well, but nothing's really moving around.
Get in there and sell
like the OJ.
I would say. You seen Trading Places?
I don't actually. Maybe.
Eddie Murphy and all that, they're in there, they're selling, they're going crazy, and it
No,
has
Trading
to do
Places is one of the trading movies I have not seen.
right, and it has to do with orange juice futures
Really?
in the pit.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. I was like, I haven't heard of like crazy traders who were savage in the OJ pits.
Yeah, man,
Back in the day, yeah.
real savage, man.
Yeah.
I mean, FLA, you never know what goes down in Florida, you know, and apparently orange juice prices are going down.
Yeah.
But we just said this the other day, my daughter, go to Adair. Let's go to Adair and then we'll say some more random stories.
We have some comments coming through here from the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, saying that the markets are underestimating inflation. He said he expects higher prices over the next 6 to 9 months and said that in general, just some of the new administration's nationalistic policies, as he put it, that these policies will keep inflation elevated. So Larry Fink saying that he is worried about inflation right now being an elevated rate. Nasdaq still near low of day, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Larry. I mean, Larry's stock, Mr. BlackRock, has also, look, I like BlackRock. I mean, there's going to be so many, again, a really high quality company. These guys know what they're doing, that's for sure. They got in problems with some of their real estate holdings and whatnot in the past. But this is BlackRock as well, actually below right now the 200 period moving average. So, I mean, come on, Larry, man. I mean, you know, now we're talking about inflation scares again. I think we have some prints coming later on this week, so we'll be able to find out if the inflation scare is indeed real or not. But yeah, whether or not, here's just another example of what's going on with the market there. What is UUP doing? Of course, that's going to be the US dollar. So we'll have a quick look at this and just see what is popping off on this end of things as well. Nice upside move a little bit here today. It doesn't really show too much happening, but at the end of the day, a nice move there for UUP back into the downside. So, or upside, sorry, up 1.5%. The US dollar is taking a little bit of a dip over the last couple of days. It looks like it is getting some legs back into it. All right. So,
Yes.
What's up, everybody? I hope you're enjoying the show so far. We've just been, having some fun, talking a little bit of game here, talking about some different investments and what we've been looking at. But as far as trading is concerned, you still have those two positions from time.
Yeah.
We can talk about what you're waiting for with Intel, maybe, but I think it's kind of obvious as we wait for that 20 level.
I mean, that held bid. Like as soon as that cracked, that would have been the smash, I think. And I didn't really have the confidence to take it. But
how much under 20 are we right now?
20 pennies. But for a name like Intel, I think that's like, because in terms of liquidity, I think you can, it's traded 49 million shares on the day. I think you can easily take, 50 to 100,000 shares at the right places and kind of build into that and wipe some levels and take 20 pennies off. Why not? It's Intel, right? It's doing the volume, it has the liquidity, and that's well below 1% of daily traded volume. So I don't know if you're going to break anything doing that. But yeah, I think opportunity is definitely there in this market, regardless of whether you're going long or short. It doesn't. I mean, it kind of does matter if you're trying to force the long today. I think the best you've gotten on some of these downtrending stocks was just counter trend scalps. But again, that's much more difficult and much more difficult to do for me. But nothing really catching a bid. Tesla's continuing to the downside right now. Nvidia 106.70, so kind of dead here on Nvidia. So this is VWAP right here. We kind of talk about that kind of dead cat bouncing there above those day lows. Okay, so I know we were talking about some China tickers here as well. So I got TSM in my tech basket or my chip basket here. You can see TSM very strong to the downside. So strong presence of sellers on the day today here on TSM as well. So yeah, a lot of these chips kind of coming in. We know that SMCI, a lot of people were talking about SMCI. I was watching it as well. I was like, oh boy, in the morning session, look at that same kind of story here where that relative volume drops off at around 10:30. So I want to know who's transacting in that, who was transacting in that first hour. So it seems like a lot of tickers kind of got some significant RVOL. So maybe again, tinfoil hat, maybe some big boys doing some moving around there. But as of right now, lower highs, flat bottom break. Shout out to Sharif. Hopefully he feels better. But yeah, look at that coming in to those pre-market lows as well. So bit of a flat bottom break, lower highs on SMCI, looking distinctly different from the rest of the chip names because they've been making lower highs and lower lows for the rest for majority of the day, and this one's been holding on the bid relatively well above this. What is this low a day here? 36.75. So in and around that level here. Let's take a quick look at Hood and see what's going on there. Again, oh boy. Kind of had the short there at the 41 in the morning session. Didn't really take as much, but this continuation has been absolutely crazy. Again, if I didn't trail this, I probably would have gotten out on this push here. But I was like, no, I want to trail. I want to get better at doing that. And this actually gave, in retrospect, when I look back at it, this actually gave me an opportunity to get some more into the trade for the continuation. This was a trade in itself. On the false break of opening price, also a rejection of pre-market lows, and a bit of a failure to follow through with the bid dissipating and the tape turning as we got back through 41. So lots of confluence there. And then when we come back in and try to retest that VWAP, it gives an opportunity for a bit of a continuation trade on the day. Now, again, also doing that relative volume in the pre-market. And not only in the pre-market, it's carried on pretty well here after it did kind of die off there. So still continuing to do about 2 times our vol on Robinhood. Oh boy, SMH is continuing to make some fresh lows here. You can see right here, a little distinctly different than SMCI. These are majority of the chips here. This is what they're looking like, and straight to the downside in roughly a clean line. And again, you don't have to look much further than the spider to see that that's the one crawling to the downside on the day today here. Pretty clean as well. VWAP sellers have definitely been in charge. Sure, they don't give you many opportunities, but if you're there in that 3-minute window, when it does come into VWAP and then sellers step right back in, definitely giving us some interesting opportunity. I'm curious to know, is this the same place I got short on Intel, 1136? And oh boy, yeah, okay, so cool. I guess that was a market move. I just saw opportunity on Intel as a vehicle for that move, and I covered, I think it was 80-90% at VWAP, and I was talking to Sean about this as well. I was like, I was involved earlier, and then I saw the moment happen, and I got, I think I took, 10 times as much as I was doing down here for the continuation to the downside. So I still have a little bit on, but again, insignificant as majority of the cover. I covered for 10, 15 pennies here, and then it just continues to go lower. That 20 held bid was very interesting, and when it comes back in and retests that 20 and it can't get back above and then trades lower, I think this was a good point to take that continuation, a trade in itself, that 20 level hold for a continuation to the downside, giving you that opportunity multiple times. But this distinct moment was definitely a snipe. And I guess I wasn't necessarily watching the SPY, but if I was, maybe I would have sized even more aggressively as SPY also kind of respected that VWAP and sellers came in, not only on Intel, but across the market here. And I think we had a super chat a little bit earlier. Chen asking, which trading platform do you all use? So this is a proprietary trading platform called P Pro 8. And I don't know what P Pro stands for.
Prosper.
Prosper, professionally, 8. So nice. I don't know if that's sarcasm, but
By me?
yeah.
Oh, it's Prosper Pro.
Oh, is it actually called Prosper Pro? Okay, I did not even know that. Wow. Okay, cool. So Prosper Pro.
Yeah.
So P Pro 8 is the
So it's
platform
been called
there.
this for. It used to just be called P Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
What is the 8? There was 8 iterations,
I
or
guess
they just
so,
slapped
yeah.
an 8 on
I
it?
mean, I've been here for 25 years using literally the exact same software. Not the exact same, but there's been different as you used the term there, iteration of it all.
Somebody just sold.
Yeah. So the market's just
I see. I have a Hood, Intel, Tesla. Just swipes of red. I'm like, all right.
Oh man, I'm getting swiped up and down here as well as I continue to go long. And look, so we've been getting out, man. We've been making money on Nvidia. I mean, we don't have any outs lower than our bid. So, so far so good. And we just got another bid right there at 60. So, average price right now is 65. So right here, flat on this trade. So, just to talk about it quickly, I just, Nasdaq being down 4%, I could see some buyers coming in here at the end of the day. I mean, I could also see sellers. And I just think that excuse me, the risk to reward right now at this level, I just think it favors going long. That's all. Like, I don't know if that's going to be the right call or not. Like, honestly, I have no idea. But at the end of the day right now, just this is what's been coming out. We have a sell on ACI, a sell on BAC, buy on Juniper, Schlumberger's there. These aren't huge numbers heading into the close, so we'll wait for the Nasdaq. But I'm just kind of looking at what we're seeing here. And,
Oh my God.
you know, this bottom of 106.25, we'll put on some shares if we get down there. I'm actually bidding 106.22. Is that the very bottom, 18s? So if we do come into there, I just saying like, hey, maybe we do hold this bottom right there, which is what I'm looking at. That's the 18 level. So I just want to try it to see, because the last time, again, you know, here we go. Can this happen? Yes. And I just think that up to 104, I said we could retest VWAP. That's what I'm waiting for. But it looks like the market's just like, whap. No, straight back in again. So here we go, man. We don't have a negative name today. Looks like we will put one on right now, potentially. Well, we talked about being little negative on AMD, but AMD is really coming in. That's $5 in the money. So there it is. We do get our last load there. I mean, Nvidia's right here, right now. A break. I just got to make sure the order's in. Yeah, 105.99. Maybe we could go a little, I'll just sit at 99. If it breaks it, it breaks it. So right here, we're in some shares, comfortable position. I'm not really stressed. I'm stressed out about it, but not too much. So we'll have to wait to see what happens here with Nvidia. Long at 56s. We're playing off that low. I mean, in hindsight, why didn't we just wait for that? But I didn't know it was coming. We were getting some good trades here. This bottom is 55. These outs are 16s. So like we're making 60, 70 cents. So let's see if we can do it again. Really? I mean, that's all. If we can get up to the 50-period moving average and get out of like a quarter of this position, I think that'd be pretty good, 106.80. But here we come, Obi. We're 15 cents away from WAP and getting stopped out of this one. So to me, worth the shot. Maybe to you, not. I hope you guys are short, obviously. But for right now, I'm sitting here 30 cents. Well, was 30 cents out. It looks like they're going to take 105, 106, like 106 going to break. So that's coming in. Look, man, it just tried to go. It was just in the 20s, and then it just marketed down 10 cents. So I don't know, man. The selling pressure is definitely on board. Like, I don't know who's involved with this, but the names are coming in right now. And now I don't even remember, and we could chat GPT this, but like this might be a good infographic. Like, I don't remember the last time the Nasdaq was down 4 1/3%. So, like even when COVID was crazy, I remember Neil and I, and you were here too, maybe. No, you weren't here at COVID, I don't think, on this floor. Were you? No, 2020.
No, I wasn't.
So,
I wish I was.
Yeah. So Neil and I we would be like, all right, what is limit down on the Nasdaq? I think it's actually 6%. I think there's something. So we can, again, try to find all these out. But at the end of the day, this is getting bad, man. And like we talked about the plunge protection team, they didn't come in, man. They didn't come in at all.
Where are they at, though?
Well, where are they at?
I'm sure they're looking for good reasons to buy. And like I said, we haven't really seen any real capitulatory action. I don't think so. Like, where's the volume? Maybe on this flush, but like I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm waiting. I'm observing.
John T says Trump is a genius. I don't know if that means if that is tongue in cheek or not. But for right now, the market is not feeling any genius kind of ways. But again, it could be a close your eyes situation.
I mean, yeah, could be if you're sitting in the short, maybe.
I like that. How tall are you again? I'm taller than you. No, you're about 6 feet.
Close. Yeah, I'm 5'11". Yeah.
I say this chair. I got to get one of those Herman Millers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this was a game changer. When I got this chair, I was back at my desk. The first year, I was like, my back hurts. Like maybe I'm postured differently. Yeah. Like I was trying to focus on my posture, kind of exercise, stretch, everything. When I got this chair, oh boy, this is literally a game changer. And by the looks of it, it looks so simple. It looks like a very simple chair, but it's that back support and that arch. And I don't know how Herman Miller does it, but they know what's up, and they know.
Man, Dinkelberg says close the casino.
Oh boy.
I mean,
we're going 24 hours by mid-2026 apparently. So
yeah, you had mentioned that.
Yeah.
All right, here comes Nvidia.
We got a super chat.
We have, pardon?
Super chat.
Super chat. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get to it in a minute. Okay.
What?
Ramin is not feeling the Herman Miller chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ramin saying maybe not the best for shorter people. Maybe they make
problems,
a,
you know?
yeah.
Okay, so.
Talk to Herman about that one.
Yeah. We need a button here that says call Herman. See if we can. All right, bye-bye, Nvidia.
Here we go.
Here comes a
Oh
level
my
2. You
God.
can just have a look at it. I mean,
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? I'm going to get
just look at
marketed
it?
out of this ASAP for a 60-cent hit. I mean, honestly, okay, oh well. It'll be a negative stock here. I don't know why we tried. I mean, I know why we tried the long. We talked about it. I thought there was enough there to get this going. And maybe it's one of those up and down things. I'm not going to, like, when I get stopped out, which we just got. Good thing our price didn't, we actually got 99s there. Or did we? What did we get there? Okay, so some 95s, some 96s there. Blended order, but there it goes to the downside. I'm just we'll hit the sirens. We'll slap the fail.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't hear that news story there about China because we were short the TQs up here, man. We were short at $60.50. That's now 200 handles in as the market is breaking. So I guess I'll get a better price on my JPMorgan, but at the end of the day, this is just not good, my guy. So
apparently there are sellers in the market today. Apparently. I don't know. Not
Obi,
sure.
you are a very wise man. I mean, I do believe that there are some sellers in the market today. And I don't want to like incite fear or anything, but on Friday, someone asked me about Tesla. I said we're going lower. Didn't think it was 15% in one day. I mean, this is bad, dude.
Yeah. We're getting lower.
This Tesla chart is bad. And there's the move. Okay, so volume's increasing. That's generally a good sign here that we could have maybe found a little bit of a bottom here.
Oh boy.
I almost punched long Nvidia again.
Yeah.
Was that the bottom?
What are you looking at?
I'm back in. No, I just bought back.
Just got back in.
I don't know. We went down into the 80s. We had some nice volume there. I mean, it's the red stock that we have. Maybe we shouldn't have gone back to the well there. All right, well, we just put on one unit again just to try it. I think we just should go short. Like, I don't want to sit here and look like a complete 105.80. I mean, it's AMD is holding up a little bit. We only have about 5% left, at least of this one. As this continues, let's get out some AMD here. As that continues to get to the downside again, I'm just sort of randomly like, we just got filled on the bid as easy as we could there. We just put a 96.60. Dude, that's $5. I mean, similar to your Robinhood trade that you're holding on to right now. We can hold now for the very bottom, but if I'm going to go a little long here on...
I'm going to mark it on close that.
Oh, that's what you're going to do?
No, I'm saying the AMD.
Same difference. I mean, you want to do it on Hood?
I mean, I could, yeah. I could.
Just
for giggles? Oh, boy. All right.
Oh, man.
So this I want to shout out Iggy.
Okay.
Iggy Sosa in the chat here saying, trading this market is like a roller coaster. Anxious before getting on the open. Excited and nervous during the ride and hoping to finish with a smile despite the tears. Close.
Oh, I forgot to read that. Yes, thank you, Iggy.
Thank you, Iggy. Yes, no, trading is it can definitely be a roller coaster, but
do you feel like crying? You know?
I mean, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, there's been days where I'm just like, it's funny enough, we were talking about this last week during the grad event there, or the grad party, where I was just like, there's many times where trading will really kind of beat you up. And there have been times where I feel like, I go on a red streak and I'm like, do I have it anymore? Like, nothing's working? Did I forget how to trade? Did I, you start getting anxious and nervous, and yeah, you can definitely feel like crying there. But what you have to remember is that at the end of the day, you trust yourself, you trust the process, you just try to get some green up, try to put some green up on the board, and then build from that. It's just,
when was the last time the Nasdaq was? Go ahead, keep going.
Trading can be a game like that, and again, very, very difficult. One of the biggest things is you gotta know how to get back up when you get pushed down, right? And the market will be more than willing to take you through, like you said, Iggy, that roller coaster. And over time, you become desensitized. Over time, I don't know if you've seen the memes where it's like this guy's on a roller coaster, and it's like, oh, when you've been in the market for years, and the roller coaster is doing all those things, and he's just looking back with a straight face, like as if nothing is fazing him. And I think that kind of speaks to the ideal kind of potential mindset that a trader, or I would want to achieve at one point, just being very. This is the trade. This is my playbook, and I'm going to believe it. I'm going to trust it, and I'm going to go forward from there. And yeah, sure, there are times where different playbooks work in different markets, and I'm learning that as well. That's kind of goes to adaptation. So, wow, this selling is coming in right here. 50 pennies on Intel. Oh my God. Definitely, I covered way too much at VWAP.
Oh yeah, we all did. I mean,
I think the
short
20
that anybody had at any point today, you left too much on the table.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it's true. Like we had AMD short. I mean, our Apple short. You know, first of all, Nvidia's going to
twos on Tesla.
Like
that's
we're
a bit
short
of a level.
232s on Apple there, you know, so that would have been a good one for sure. All right, so we just tweeted this out. We asked ChatGPT, so here we go. As we wait for 77.5 right now on the Nasdaq. Oh boy. All right, so here we go. We asked ChatGPT about the worst days in the Nasdaq the last 25 years. This is the answer that we got. All right, so here we go. 12.5% for COVID-19 crash right there, March the 16th. March followed by April. Oh no, so that's 2000, the dot-com bubble burst. Okay, so we did go back 25 years. So then we had 9, so these are major, like right now we're down 4.5, right? So October 1987, outside 25-year range. Well, thanks for that. So yeah, all right. But anyways, 9.97%, just a matter of interest there. Then again, couple days before that COVID, like you're going to go 12 on March 16th, then another 9 4 days before. So you're going like 22% there in a week on the NASDAQ. The difference with this was the NASDAQ was going back and forth like crazy. So you were having like some 5 or 6% up days as well during all of this. March 9th, 8% again. The most recent one, though, looks like 2022. March seems to be a very bad month. It looks like, if I was going to look at this here, March 7th, we're down 7%. There it is, man. Russia-Ukraine war and Fed rate hike fears. So I'm still thinking the Fed has enough opportunity to, okay, we just got stopped out of Nvidia, to lower rates, but, you know, you never know. And then there goes geopolitical and COVID. So, yeah, man, those are the worst last couple of bad moves. So we can even get a lot lower than that right now. So, yeah, market keeps going to the downside. There's Bitcoin down 9% today, but 77 coming in here for Bitcoin. Yeah, man, this day is just getting worse and worse for me. We just take another hit there on Nvidia as we try to catch the bottom there. I guess there is no bottom, man. It looks like we're going to be down 5% here. The ES is down 3.5%. I guess we're just holding on to AMD right now. Downside push right now on advanced micro devices and everything, I guess. But
oh yeah, you got to hold on to those shorts. Everything's falling. Yeah, no, softy fresh lows. Spider again. You can see the futures here continuing to make some fresh lows here, and Tesla all the way down to 222s. That's kind of a level I had marked earlier. I didn't think we would get there today, but oh boy, what's going on, Adara?
Keep an eye on Apple, which is making this interesting little spike and then giving it back here. Seeing some reports on X. Apparently, the company is majoring or preparing here a major software overhaul for the iPhone, the iPad, and the iMac. Apparently, these are going to be coming as part of iOS 19 and Mac OS 16. So Apple getting a slight spike, probably just as this headline is overheard. But again, just a software overhaul here apparently planned for the iPhone, the iPad, and the Mac. It's worth noting I have not heard anything further with regards to this summit. But to read back the headline here with regards to China, apparently the U.S. and China are discussing a summit between Donald Trump and Xi of China for June. So this conversation, if it happens between Xi and Trump, is not scheduled to take place for about 3 months, guys. Back to you.
All right, okay. So in the future, June, we should be looking
3
forward
months
to that. Yeah, I mean, it'll go by pretty, I'd say, in a flash.
What you think so?
It usually does.
All
I
right.
mean,
I'm with you.
yeah, usually does.
In 3 months, the market could be at 0. So hopefully, no, just kidding. Hopefully, we're not that low, of course. But thanks for, there you go. So Derek giving us some clarity, excuse me, at about, well, whenever we got stopped out, I mean, okay, you know, again, we're back in Nvidia. I don't know if that's going to be right. This is when I first, I mean, Adair just confirming the story, obviously, but right there at 2, if you come over to my screen, at 2:10 is when I first heard it, which is why I immediately punched out. Obviously, that was a really, really bad decision because that was basically the high spot right there. So sometimes, you know, hearing different things, you got to sort of take it for what it's worth and assess. And we jumped the gun there thinking that, hey, the market was oversold. But how sold is oversold? Apparently not this much. It can go down even further than where we are right now. All right, take out some more here. Just take out some more. Just take out some more of Nvidia as we're making a little bit back right now. Trying not to be as stubborn as we were before. Not trying to like set the world on fire, of course. But if we do have that opportunity, we will take another out up here into 106 and then see what winds up happening. But we did look off that bottom. And again, you had showed me volume before, obviously on JPMorgan, and maybe there was some indicators there about relative RVol there in the first 30 minutes or whatever. Maybe it was a little bit more than that. So right now, we'll take advantage of this. There's been a big flush down on the Nasdaq and on Nvidia with increased volumes coming in. This is our biggest buy candle of the day since the very open. So we just get that in there right now. We will join that move and see if we can't get a nice little upside push. We're long at 105.50 right here. Just a couple hundred shares. We'll see if we can get back upside right now on Nvidia. And if it wants to go, great. There it is. We got some 86s. Okay. We just got 86 there, and then it just flew right back in. We got 84s and 85s, actually. Sorry, 84s and 86s. Didn't we realize we were double offering? Let's see if we can get a break above 106.20. So again, like I said, we're out of half of this reloaded position, and we'll see if we can get it back higher than where we are right now on Nvidia. Need to make a little bit of that back. Hey, Sean, what's up, Chase Bands? I like that name, Chase Bands. We've seen you many, many times. Grab that money, put it in that band, Chase. All right, at Sean, this is not the way to do it because I don't see this. Just a matter of fact that I did. You got to go at Sean and then just fill out that last name, push enter. This is a true hydronation break. Well, it's definitely a hydration nation, and that's what we have right here.
Boom.
All right, Obi. Cheers.
Yeah.
You have your hydration?
I have my hydration. Are we cheersing water?
Of course we're cheersing water. What do you think I'm doing? Trying to pour it on you?
Okay, cheers.
All right, cheers.
I thought it was bad luck to cheers water. That's what I heard, but that's okay. I will. That is what they say. People in the chat saying HMR.
My bad.
To the upside.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I didn't realize choosing water was bad.
Come on, now the market's going to go to 19, bro.
Oh shit! What have I done? Since I did that, like Nvidia's retraced quite
Strong
nice.
flush.
What have I done?
Oh no.
Oh man.
Taboo. But no, okay, so people in the chat talking about HMR to the upside. I have no idea what this ticker does.
Chase
but apparently petroleum tankers, so the oil and gas pipelines, that's kind of what they're categorized under. Heidmar Maritime Holdings Corp, and it's done about 22 million volume on the day. No real information here. I got no real information here, but you can see when it comes to what they do, operates as a tanker pool company, and look at that, absolutely blasting to the upside.
No, you're not in trouble.
Let's go, Fabian.
What's up?
Can you please confirm the cheersing of water being bad luck?
It is bad luck, and so is an empty glass.
Yeah, you can't cheers an empty glass. Yeah.
That would make sense.
They both are.
This is not just a Chilean old wives' tale.
Nope. I learned that here.
Here's the thing,
In
though.
good old
Alcohol has
Canada.
both. Alcohol is like an OH group, right?
It don't
Get a little
matter if
sciencey.
Nvidia at the highest.
There's some OH in here.
Nvidia's higher than before we cheersed.
Are we gonna go lower? Oh my God, I don't know. We're opening Pandora's box here, Sean. I don't know.
So you believe in that?
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
Never. We ain't never.
I'm just a little stitious.
Just a little baby stitches. Okay, well, guess what? Let's go. It's a face slap. There's always something else I want to say after that, but I can't.
Oh, what? Something didn't go, it came back? Okay, yeah, we're going to go to Dara. I think she has something to say about HMR.
Hey, the cat.
I do have something here to say about HMR here. So this is Heidmar. Float is notable, I think, for this one. It's about a 328,000 share float. And this morning it had an announcement. Apparently, there's going to be this conference, the International Shipping Forum. That's going to be on Monday, March 31st. But it's worth noting it's been announced today as Heidmar going to be at this event. So HMR going to be at an event soon, 328,000 share float. Also, I looked more into that Apple story. This software update apparently is going to be its largest in years. It's a major overhaul. So this Apple software update could be a bit larger than initially expected, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Dara. Yeah, a little bit of a bid here. Sean's
we're almost
saying
green
bad
on
luck.
Nvidia. We are almost
What?
green on Nvidia.
Let's go.
And to be honest with you, it started with the Waters cheers. So I mean, you know, some things are meant to be broken there. Are you relatively superstitious?
I'm like I said, I'm a little stitious.
Yeah?
No, I'm joking. When it comes to the market and this is
Like
funny.
you have a big day, you wear the same underwear the next day?
No, there was actually a time. Can we actually talk about this? I wore red a couple of times, and I had my P&L reflected on that, and I was like, I'm only going to wear these on the weekends. And then as of recent, though, I had a really good, because red is my favorite color. I don't like, red is by far my most favorite color. But as of recent, I had one of my best days, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this one's lucky. And then I'm like, and then I really thought to myself, I'm like, maybe that's irrelevant. But no, all jokes aside, being a little stitious, I think is okay.
Why are we saying stitious? Is that because it's superstitious?
Yeah, superstitious. But yeah, no. I remember Greg used to say. I used to go up to Greg, our old risk manager. I'd be like, "Oh, a little bit of a tinfoil hat." And then there was one time he stands up. He's like, "Oh, buddy, tinfoil hat. I got a whole tinfoil suit over here." He's like, by the time you get more experience with the markets, you're going to be wearing that full tinfoil suit. And I still remember that. It was funny.
So obviously you know Prad, and
yes.
We used to call him Pradstradamus or something like that.
Pradstradamus,
you remember that. He was always, I think Valeria actually made him a tinfoil hat one day. Like seriously, and he wore it there.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch that one.
99 problems, Nvidia ain't one, my guy.
The bid ain't one.
Because like Joe's getting ready for the club. Any hot clubs on a Monday night there, Joe? Or?
The weekend club? The what? I have no idea.
This is not going anywhere. Yeah, okay. So yeah, they're apparently no. But yeah, there's always somewhere to go on a Monday night.
Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. Who goes out on Tuesday?
My kid is coming back from Monday night tonight.
Monday, yeah. No, I think that's from a song. I think.
Right. It's a big industry day.
Really? Okay.
So they say.
All right. Well,
guys,
let us know where the party's at.
What's up, Fabian? We are almost green right now. I mean, well, we are position pending. There it is. It is a hot dog cannon kind of day. Obi, go fill up your water because we are cheersing the shit out of that water coming up very soon because there it goes again. It's a monster trade. Hey, it's my party. I'll cry if I want to, honestly, around here. But there it goes, man. Huge move to the upside for Nvidia. Boom. If we had just not legged this out, then we would be monstrous. But we're still doing pretty good right now as it goes to the upside, man. So we may have no red names today. We have the TQQs in the building. That was a good trade. Let's just review some of the trades we have. That was good. We waited for the 50 period. It's at there right now. I ain't going to short it because we're already long on Nvidia. Apple, let's go alphabetical. How about that? Apple to start the day gets the first account. The first name in my blotter was either Apple or AMD. We'll double check that in a second. But that was at 940. We started loving that short. And then we put a stop out. We did get stopped out once it broke that garbage right there. That's a nice trade, man. That's 232. That's 226.50. We like it. We like it a lot. Advanced Micro Devices. This was obviously my first trade as we took it right at 930. Stopped out. Boom. To the downside. We make back our money on Advanced Micro Devices. Following that alphabetically is Nvidia. You just saw me deal with some of those nightmares live. Palantir is actually my P&L number one, and these are only longs, man, and we haven't done anything since. I actually almost went long Palantir 75 instead of Nvidia. So this is also a name that I like down there as well. And then wrapping it up, TQ. So we already did that. So Apple, AMD, Nvidia, Palantir, TQs. 5 names for us today, 4 for 5 so far. All right, so we'll wait because we still are negative on Nvidia. We're still negative on Nvidia. And the reason why is that, again, this dropped out, we lost there, and we gained back here. And it's not like part of why we don't give share sizes is we all trade many different shares and sometimes it could be hundreds times difference. But that's not, the thing is like we try to tell you, I'm trying to give you, and I don't know if Joe does it. Obi was doing it a little bit earlier, but at least units, like, this is the sort of the confidence meter that we have in this trade. So I just want to tell you for this trade, my stop was 105.39 break. I was giving this trade 11 cents. So this is why we're able to make our money back because it went 10 to 1, went more than that. That doesn't matter, but that's why we started taking some out over here. It's just like, sometimes it's worth these shots. And look, man, you can dig your grave a lot deeper if these trades don't work out. So I just want to say, like, we're sitting here on, what's up, Chase Bands? We're sitting here on, let's go. We're sitting here on a prop floor. So I'm trading other people's money, and I've been lucky enough to been given a lot of that to trade with, and a big leash as far as stop orders, stops where we get stopped out on, right? So that's why we are really green today, despite making mistakes. And there's a lot of you out there that aren't going to be able to take swings like this. So this is going to be a good one. And I mean, this is what it is. And someone just said it right there, one-wheeler. You're 100% white one-wheeler. What are those, unicycles, the one-wheeler? You ever been on a unicycle?
I've never been on a unicycle.
No, I ain't never.
I've always wanted to try those Segways, though.
Well, I've been on a Segway. Yeah,
Yeah,
Segways are pretty. In Miami, we went on some of those on the beach there.
Nice.
Yeah, they're nice, real nice. I definitely think that people should do that. Those are fun. The kids love the Segways. Miami, you're going there on Thursday.
Yes.
So say what's up to Kevin O'Leary.
No.
I think no.
No, I don't think he's going to be there.
No, he might. He will. I think he will be. He's either in Miami or Toronto, basically.
Oh, actually?
Yeah,
he's just, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Should be.
All right, one-wheeler, stops being triggered everywhere today, 100p, right? I mean, that's something that's without a doubt, man. Stops are being triggered everywhere, and just play your game. I've been stopped out many, many times, right? So, oh yeah, Nvidia is really making him sing, man. I mean, this trade alone is turning the whole day around, turn this round upside down. We were red at one point, obviously not anymore, not even close anymore, as this is really starting to go. Even if you just had 500 shares down there, I mean, this is a nice move right back there to the upside again. So let's just take some more out and just enjoy the ride now to the upside. But just to that point there in the chat, you know, like this is a stop on Apple right here. You know, we got my last Apple trade was a stop. And I'm going to throw it over to Obi because quite frankly, people probably don't like my voice. There it is right there. So we got stopped out. We went, that's a stop out. So, you know, right into there, I'm fine with it. But it is a stop out, so we got stopped right there. We got stopped out on Palantir as well to the downside, boom. I don't know how this, Nvidia may take over number one, but at the end of the day, stop outs all over the place here. Stopped out right there on the break, bought it back here. Bought it back again, stopped out on the break lower. So everything at some point stopped myself out right there on the 50 period, right there for the TQQs. So yeah, man, lots of action there, including various stop outs. I do want to notice as well that there is a good possibility for us to get into JPMorgan. Well, I already have the market on close order in, so I will be getting into a little bit of JPMorgan as this day comes to an end. And again, that's how Obi can, you know, Neil and I, we talk about this on the show. I don't think you're really as active maybe as we are in our sort of our swing accounts or not, but we'll never put on a position intraday because it's just, there's a compliance thing there where we don't need anybody to say, you know, we were long this stock and pushing it up or anything like that. So all of the orders that we'll put in will be executed when we're flat and have no more trading to be done. So, or I'll post on the middle of the day when I'm off the show. I'll let people know what kind of trades I'm looking at and what I'm in on and et cetera, et cetera. So there is some of that happens, which is why I'm talking about JPMorgan at the close. Hopefully we get a good price. We'll see if we do or not. But okay, that's that. So yeah, looking to get JPMorgan, 229's been the bottom there. That looked like a good one. Oh boy, Obi. We are now $1.30 now in the money on this. I'm going to take out now 10% of what we have left. We still have got on board about a quarter of our position. There it is. We just took some 81s. This is going to look like we're planting red roses here again, of course, but that's, you know, I was going to say Red Rover, but I can't remember what it is. There was that call Ramin over or whatever. Like, you know how you do that game in grade school?
Yeah.
Bang, let's go, Nvidia. It is a face slap for that one. There goes Nvidia. Oh boy, we are hella printing right now. Can you believe that back, I don't know when you were doing this, but back in high school, for me about 10 years ago, when they were throwing, basically, you would line up, shut up, Ramin. You would line up here, put your arms out, and people would try to like
run through,
into them.
I remember that. Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Nowadays they don't even let kids play with balls on the in the no, well, not in the gym they do because it's gym class.
At recess?
Outside.
Really? Why?
At recess.
Because they run
My
after
kids
it
are
if it
not
goes on the
allowed
street or something? Is that why?
Yeah, they're not allowed to bring balls into the playground. Like because they're worried about kids getting violent. Like, I don't. I'm going to find out the reason why tonight because I asked the question. Right, yeah, but they can bring their phones in. My kids have cell phones.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, they don't, the TikTok's there.
So I got rid of everything there. I got it on my shorts because I'm like, the bid is definitely a little bit here. You can see the bid coming in on both the Nasdaq and the ES. One of the first instances of two green candles in a row on the 15-minute. So I think
Dude.
I will walk away, and that's I guess that's all she wrote for me today. But yeah, let's see. There's still about 35 minutes left in the trading day. There could potentially be opportunities, but like I said, I am pretty much done there as of right now. I think the bid, again, we're short. The bid is coming in a significant way. No idea if it's going to stick around for the next 35 minutes, but I think that's a good reason for me, myself, and I to do some buying. And I'm just looking around to see what we have going on here. So we can kind of talk about this Intel trade right here from earlier. I like that hold on the bid at 20. Again, in retrospect, should I be really trying to short into it before the level's actually broken? Probably not. It's a held bid. I think the easier money is to just get long on top of the held bid, and you know what your risk exactly is because it's a held bid. And then until we kind of crack that, which we finally did at what is this? This is the 103 candle. Until that happens, then again, I think the short here on the retest of that 20, that lower high into this consolidation low, and that held bid low as well, is a much better entry there for the continuation. But yeah, that could have been a little bit better. But I just took a reversion to VWAP because that's part of my playbook. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes things sell off a lot more, or things go a lot more than you really expect them to. And a little bit of a hold onto the rest of those there. Robinhood. This is Robinhood, right? Yeah. Okay. Hood is the ticker here, but nice little action off of the open. That 41 failure to follow through, false break of opening price, and a failure to follow through pre-market lows. And oh boy, I covered in 38, Sean, because it was a higher time frame technical level where I was like, maybe we find a little bit of a bid, and we did. We find a bid. It takes us to VWAP, but guess what? Sellers come right back in on VWAP, and it goes all the way down for another 2-point flush to 36 is down. Well, at that point, it was down over 17% on Hood.
What?
There, Ramin's asking me to read this.
So we
this super chat right
I just
here.
want to say, like, we don't really talk about P&Ls too much or whatever, right? But like, we just made everything back plus more, and it was just like, this is where like you're fighting the trend the whole way, and then it's just like, eventually when it goes, dude, like this is what you and I talk about, that trading more shares.
Yeah.
And waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
Just like you said about smacking Intel through 20 bucks.
I realized that was the moment that I could have been
We only made $500 or $600
exponentially more on that push.
Exactly.
Right?
And so I think that I actually did that here, so I'm pretty proud with it, but we didn't use huge amount of shares, but we just didn't want to get caught. I felt like going long into this. Like I just said, we just made about $500 back there, but the thing is that it was tough because you're fighting the trend. Like, I would put more shares on if it was a short, but we're just really, really happy. How many tires? Like one tire. Not that much. Okay, I was told to read a chat here, so I guess there's a super chat. Oh, we did. So I've missed all of these on talking about this. So trade the market like a roller coaster. You talked about that. Yes. Absolutely burnt. Yeah, about that.
Optimism.
Absolutely burnt. Anyone optimism that the market might recoup to at least 300 to 400 points. Yeah, that's why we went long Nvidia. So thank you, Logos Productions. Yeah, look, I don't think you should ever get down on yourself. You just need to now long TQQs.
Next trade. Nice.
Obi.
Yes, sir.
Barry Dingle says, congrats on the graduation.
Thank you.
Obi, you are awesome.
Thanks,
Sean, congrats on being a great dad.
Let's go.
Thank you. I take after my own father, so I appreciate that. Everything is on discounts. Thoughts of when we may see a reversal? Well, how about at 3 o'clock, 30 minutes ago? The chicken dinner winner. We talked about staying positive. No, okay, so in all seriousness, thank you everybody for all of the chat and everything like that. I mean, it does mean a lot to all of us. So, yeah, I could do a lot of things, Ramin. Okay, but right now, I just wanted to say, when can we see a reversal? I mean, we could look at the economic calendar and see if there's any sort of talk there. I thought it was pretty interesting to hear that Donald Trump, I'm disappointed that it was months away, but I just think the more talks, the better. We talked about, I mean, here we go, we're flipping up a little bit now as well. We did talk about what that means as far as, let me just get the actual promo up for that, Ramin, because I feel like there's more things I'm supposed to say that I never say. I do, what else is new? But I just wanted to say that I really do feel like we need to get some positive stories coming through, right? I mean, and until we get those, I'm not sure. I mean, there's so much talk here about tariffs. There's so much talk about Doge. Like, I'd actually like to see Elon step away from all of this. I think that would be the one thing that could possibly rally Tesla temporarily, which could give us a little bit of a move back up to the upside. I'd like to see those inflation numbers remaining like on track. We do have, I think it was the 19th of March, I believe, Adara. We do get the next Fed, right? So that will come through, thanks, Adara. So that will come through there. Okay, I'm just going to take advantage of this move up.
Ooh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
Nvidia just went to 116.50 there, and I was sleeping on that. We weren't going to go, oh my God, I missed the, oh no, we did, okay, woo. I thought we missed that top there. But again, I like to see inflation chill out a little bit and that not be a worry. I like to see jobs hold as well. I don't really know. I mean, what I like doesn't really ever matter. But okay, right here. Are you ready to become a real trader? Well, if so, you can join guys like Obi and myself and my guy Joe over there, Darren Neal and Sharif. Our next training cohort kicks off on March the 24th. Lucky day there, March the 24th. Kicks off on March the 24th. At this time, we're expanding our reach. If you live outside the continental USA, now is your chance. Your chance is not today. It's not tomorrow. It is now. Make sure you do sign up. You'll be able to be trading U.S. equities during regular market hours with continuous U.S. session trading. So that's pretty cool. We did have a curated list before. Some of them did not include U.S. equities. Now we are in there. You're going to learn market microstructure, different marketplaces and venues, order types, and professional execution, and trade on the same platform that Obi and I are using every single day. It is the P Pro 8 platform, Obi. Space is limited. Do not wait if you are outside of the continental US, which may one day include Canada.
Oh boy.
You know?
Yeah.
Not.
I don't know about that.
Don't worry, Mark Carney is going to save us all. You know, Carney is kind of known as maybe not a negative term, negative term. You're a Carney. Do you know? You ever heard someone call someone a Carney?
No. Is that the new guy in office for a few days, or?
Yeah, he's our new president-elect.
Sure.
There, not elected actually. So our Liberal Party, we had Justin Trudeau. You probably heard a lot about him. Trump calling him governor and whatnot. At the end of the day, he stepped down.
Right.
And resigned.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I know you knew about that. Yeah. So he resigned, and now we have John Carney coming in there. He used to be our finance minister, and then I believe did work with the Bank of England as well. So he's got his P's and Q's all lined up, apparently. And the plan of action there is to run, as we have to now have a new election.
Right.
So he will temporarily step in. We did have the first female Canadian prime minister do that when Mulroney stepped down there. And now we'll wait to see Kim Campbell, and now we'll wait to see if Carney has anything to say about this. But he won't have the power to really do too much here, as we'll wait. And then apparently it's conservative. Mr. Pierre Poilievre, have you heard of him?
Yeah, I've definitely heard of him.
Yeah, so he'll come through and represent the Conservatives. And our we are a conservative province as well. We just had elections, and Doug Ford, many of you may have heard of him as well. He's coming through. It's not just a $1 winner. What's up, Ozan?
Oh boy, look at that pullback right back up. That was...
Yeah, as we get ready for those industry parties, and me and Joe are going to go there tonight or not, and we should have some fun. So there it is, man. Nvidia really making them sing back there to the upside. So we talked about Nvidia being our worst stock. It is now close to our best stock, as it is now all the way up. We still do have our best name here as Palantir. You're not in any positions. Is that on purpose?
Yes, because I was short, and I see no strong reasons to short anymore.
You can see clearly now? I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. That's not right.
So kind of. I think I remember.
Get some help.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, perhaps.
If Kevin O'Leary was here, he would once again be telling me not to quit my day job one more time in there. But by the way, Kevin, I did watch Shark Tank season 17.
Okay.
And then I turned it. How about that, Kevin? You like that, Joe?
I don't know what that means. I've seen a few episodes. I like Shark Tank. Shark Tank's good.
Yeah, it's all right. You got some sharks in a tank. And oh boy.
Oh boy.
Dude.
That was it. There's that one guy from Shark Tank, the smiley scrub guy.
I'd rather not talk about scrubs or anything like. Which guy was that? John.
He sold basically like a sponge, and he became scrub daddy. Yeah. Ramin saying she has all the variations of that. Yeah, I mean, cool idea for a sponge, and then
we have,
you would think wow, look at that.
I mean, did we call Nvidia to VWAP or what?
You called it. Oh boy.
I mean,
oh boy.
There it is right there. Huge move to the upside. Yeah, no, those scrub daddy things, I have that. Yeah. They come in, I think you can get them at Costco. Part of my job at home is, so Marissa will get the kids down. I mean, one's 13. It's not like, he needs too much. I mean, none of them need help getting down, but she'll do all that. Yeah, and then I do the dishes at the end of the night.
Okay.
So I use that scrub, Mr. Scrubber there, or whatever it is. And
estimated net worth of $70 to $100 million.
Who?
The Scrub Daddy guy. His name is Aaron Krause, inventor of Scrub Daddy. Yeah. My thing was, in the 20th century, who would have thunk that developing a new kind of sponge would make you a multimillionaire?
It's all about those the distribution.
Business.
You got to find the right forms of distribution.
Yeah.
And we got to go over to Adara before we get in big time trouble.
Yo.
Keep an eye on crypto here. I'm seeing a report from Politico that Tim Scott, who is a Republican senator, is apparently eyeing a Senate banking bill vote on Thursday with regards to a stablecoin bill. So apparently, Tim Scott of the Senate Banking Committee is looking for the group to vote on a stablecoin bill on Thursday. So keep an eye on crypto with that vote in mind if it does come to pass. And we are brought to you by eSignal. New traders, listen up. The first month is going to be free because that's right, we are waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize, because our platform is everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. So do not miss out. Execute your best trades now with eSignal. Are you ready to elevate your trading? Scan that QR code or check the link in the description. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that bid is coming in quite strong. So I guess the bid came in off of, what is that, low 19.3s. So a bit of a pull into the 19.2s, and then rebid kind of breaking that trend going into the end of the day after a very, very strong day of selling here. The Nasdaq down about 3.5%, just over 3.5% there, and the ES down about just over 2.5, 2.65 on the ES and 3.65 on the Nasdaq here, going into the last 13 minutes of the day here. So I want to know what you guys traded during the day. I know there was a lot of directional moves, obviously some of the selling that happened, but it seems like there were some small caps running as well. There were some other tickers. We were looking at some other sectors as well, Sean, and I think we talked about that XLV being up during the morning session and the midday session. But take a look at this. By the end of the day, we'll go to XLV right here. Again, one of the only ones that was really kind of holding its own and catching a bit of a bid there. You can see that selling kind of comes into this sector as well, giving us some fresh lows on the day going into the last hour of the day as well. So yeah, interesting stuff. We know that tech has been selling off. Financials has been selling off. We saw it with the chart on JPM as well, and then consumer staples as well. Oh boy, this one, XLP. Very, very directional on the day. You can see here actually, no, is that not the, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart. XLY, that's the one I want to look at, XLY. So that's consumer discretionary, right? So XLY, very strong selling on the day relative to some of these other sectors there. So looking similar to tech and industrials as well on the day. But guess which one has held its own, Sean? That is utilities coming in kind of flat on the day here as we just trade pretty much sideways. So nothing too crazy going on there. Let's take a quick look at what has been doing volume on the day. Now, of course, Nvidia is the top of the list. That's traded almost 300 million shares on the day, Sean. So absolutely wild here. Lots of opportunity, lots of liquidity to kind of work with here on Nvidia on the day. Tesla, of course. We see how down Tesla is. Tesla's down about 15% at the moment here, going into the close. So I don't know if we're going to wipe right back up to VWAP here. That will be interesting. But again, let's see where Tesla closes. More selling once again. After multiple weeks of back-to-back selling, we come in real hot at the beginning of the week. So I'll be watching some of these prices, these day one week prices here. That 250 was quite nice here on Tesla as well. Ford, I know a lot of people have been talking about Ford as of recent, kind of watching a little bit of that $10 level on the day today. Is this lucid? It is. And a bit of sideways action there. Nothing too crazy. Palantir, we saw that I think Sean was involved in Palantir a couple times here on the day. But yeah, kind of a similar story, trending to the downside for majority of the day with VWAP sellers coming in. And Redfin, I think these guys had a buyout news catalyst, and you can see that didn't really. I mean, it's trading like a buyout, I guess, is the most I can say for it. And AAPL, oh boy. Yeah, this one, let's see if, again, did it break any key levels? Yeah, it broke prior week low coming into the open here. 1260s just crack, and then VWAP kind of dominance there of sellers. You can see that during the opening session on American Airlines. Hood, we traded that one. That one was absolutely beautiful to the downside. Again, VWAP sellers kind of showing themselves in the middle of the day. Once again, SMCI, we talked about that kind of a sideways chop, this range, this flat bottom that was about to break. And I think I was actually talking about it in and around this time, just at 2 o'clock. And you can see that bottom did break. And oh boy, 36.80 break all the way down to 35.90. So giving you roughly about, 70, 80 pennies on the break of that lower day there on SMCI. But we bid right back up in this aggressive bid that we're seeing going into the close as well. I haven't really had eyes on any of these other tickers as well. TRVI, again, in the pre-market I was watching this one, but absolutely strong. I probably had to get borrows for this one as well, but not really my cup of tea on that one. Rigetti, oh boy.
Boy, what's that?
Rigetti trending to the downside. So again, we were kind of interacting or trying to interact with that $10 level last week. 940s was prior week high. And here's my alarm for imbalances, so we got to keep an eye on some of those incoming
Good call.
here. And yeah, Rigetti to the downside as well. Big Bear AI, we were looking at this one, Sean, in the morning with that pre-market news. We've done nothing but sell off of that. So yeah, that whole event kind of being sold into there as we fail to follow through past that 350 mark right off of the open, and a bit of a consolidation. Again, this was day 2 earnings on Big Bear AI, and you can see a bit of a continuation. On day 1, we gapped down, sold off in the morning session, and then today we didn't really do the exact same, but we come in, we kind of false break that opening range high of day 1, and then sellers kind of step right back in to close in and around $3 with a day low of 306 here on Big Bear AI. Oh boy, Apple's up here as well. Bank of America as well. Okay, you can see this RVOL spike in the morning session on a lot of these tickers. You can see it on BAC. You can see it on Apple. You can see it on Intel. You can see a little bit on Intel as well. Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I'm going to be doing more of my scans later tonight and just seeing which were the tickers that actually had some of that relative volume. I have no idea what it means, but I definitely want to know I guess the price range that volume traded at going forward for the rest of the week. Not on every single ticker, but some of the tickers that I find technically interesting. So I'll be doing some of that later tonight. $20 coming back in on Intel, man. So this level might continue to be a little bit of a level of interest going forward.
Were you just looking at the locator?
I was not.
Okay, because I heard you mention BAC there, so I was like, wait a second.
BAC it was on the volume.
Okay, yeah, and okay, good, because I just heard BAC had some data breaches earlier on today as well. Just so you guys know, we are in less than 5% of Nvidia. I mean, we got that VWAP move upside, so we're starting to cash out of pretty much all of it right there. We do have, again, we had greater than 500, but we had close to a decent amount of shares there. So we're now out of that trade. Good one, really a day saver for me. Not a day saver, but brought us back to Greensville, which was nice. So we'll do that as well because we had just lost too much on the way down there because we took shots, man. We took shots. Let's just put it that way. All right, so just real quick, that's Nvidia. BAC, not a great day for them, down 5%. Is that right? No, it's only 4%, I think, for BAC. Yeah, 4%. So down 4% there. So not a great day there for BAC. And they're going to be the #1 name, or they were, on the imbalance locator. We do have, I just tweeted it out, thank you to Adara for all of that as well. Tonight's earnings doesn't look too spicy, but still spicy enough as we go. So right into here, Asana, Oracle, and Pay for earnings this afternoon. So join Adara and I as we'll be going over all of that. And then we should have Michael Noss coming through. I'm going to ask him about the financials for sure. So I'm not trying to catch him off guard. I just don't have any notes from him. So we'll wait to see what happens.
You should ask him about that Arval. The Arval in the morning session. Sure. Like, has he seen that before? I'm curious. I would like to know, yeah.
All right, good. Where are we going, Adara? And let's go.
Just be aware here, the market did drop a little bit more here off that 475 level. Currently at 472. I am seeing here, apparently, Israel military is targeting the vicinity of an area of Syria. So just we're noting here some geopolitical tensions going on here as we get another push lower here for the market, though definitely removed from low of day right now, guys. Back to you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, okay.
You know how much that moves the market in 15 minutes. But
exactly. It's 3:45 right now. I will not be entering any new positions. We have the AMD short, which is now, let's just do this for fun. $5 right now in the money and at day's low, but similar to your Hood position when you did have it, we don't have very many shares on board. So we'll wait. I mean, I think we might as well just get out, right? I mean, we're bouncing off 96. That has been the low of the day. This trade has been a great one. I mean, obviously, when you look back, you're never going to think you have enough shares, and that's probably the case here for me on this play as well. But at the end of the day, still a good trade. So we'll put a stop at 96.50 just to make sure that we're canceled all of our other stops there. So we'll do that. 90. Well, we're going to get. Well, you know what? We're probably. Oh, we just got filled. Okay, I was going to say, why did that order not go in? But there it is, so we do not have to worry about it. Good trading there on AMD, man. We just took 101 to 96. $5. So we will celebrate that one with that $5 dance.
220. 220 on Tesla.
What?
It was traded. We broke 250 this morning.
Like, what are we talking about?
No. 220 on Tesla. That's absolutely
What was
wild.
the worst day in history again? 19?
It's 21%. 21% on September 8th, 2020.
Okay, so here...
The largest one-day decline in its history.
Question for you, my friend.
Excluded from the S&P 500. That's what it declined on. This drop occurred after Tesla was unexpectedly excluded from the S&P 500
Right, so similar to what happened to Robinhood today.
Despite meeting profitability criteria.
So there you go.
Okay.
So similar, I mean, how much is Robinhood down?
Oh boy. I think it's over 7, it was around 18.
So there we go,
Yeah,
it's the same
19%.
story.
Yeah.
Robinhood.
Interesting. Maybe that's something I should go home and playbook. Kind of go back and see.
100% you should. Because I know I've done the studies, or I didn't do the studies. I read something there that, because we're looking at Robinhood, was that the average bump on included stocks was 7%.
Ooh, okay. On day one of trading?
Yeah,
okay.
the next day. So,
the next day.
Announced Friday night, the move on Monday.
Yeah.
7%. But again, I would assume that's from, the problem is that I don't know this to be true or not, but I'm going to assume that that's from the closing price on Friday, which is interesting because the move happens after hours. That announcement, I think, comes around 5 p.m. We didn't have it on our show on Friday, so it came after we went off air, I believe. Yeah. So part of that,
literally about to close at day low. It's making fresh lows right now.
Isn't that wild that the
Hood,
Nasdaq has battled back quite nicely, guys? I mean, not really. I mean, we were down 4.4% maybe at the lows. Now you're only down 4%, 3.9%. So there has been a little bit of a rally back. I shouldn't say maybe nicely, but it has rallied back something there. All right, let's just keep on going here. So we only have 1 minute left until the imbalances, so we'll get these all locked and loaded, and then just to see if anything does come from them. We will go get rid of the broker and just do NASDAQ and NYSE because we don't care too much about the broker fills. So we'll see when those come in. Hopefully they come in pretty quickly, and then we'll be able to assess. So BBAI still a sell from the AM, so we're not worried too much about that. Let's just wind up seeing what happens now with less than 35 seconds left. We'll wait for that update. So the only position I have on board, and again, good out for us on AMD. We covered that at 96.10 or something like that. That's going to turn out to be good. Nvidia is the only one that we have left. Because it's at 107 and at the 200 period, whoopsies, almost got to have too many. We'll offer some out here at 99. Let's put an offer much higher than that if we can, into the 30s. We'll offer that in case we do get that monster rip, and then we'll put something even higher up near 108 in case we do get it. So now with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Yes, sir. There it is. It is lifting up. 117, 120s. Ooh. Give me that 29, Phil. We did not get it, but maybe we do. So here we go, man. ACI, possible index action on ACI right there. IBIT coming with a bid. So Bitcoin. Bank of America, we just sort of talked about that. That's coming with a bid. I don't really see Nvidia on here. So strange. But at the end of the day, we did get that 29. So that is a props up kind of a trade. In what turned out to be my two best stocks today are both longs. So there you go, in an absolutely disastrous day, but it doesn't mean that we didn't have the shorts. Thank you everybody for paying attention to us all day. We had Apple right off the beginning of the day at 232. That was absolutely monstrous. Shout out to Mr. Westermeyer, who was talking about 226s on Apple. That was a great level, dude. I mean, you nailed that. It does go down a little bit more into 224, but still great level. So congratulations if you are still watching and you're able to make money on that kind of a call. And then AMD was a huge short, obviously, that we just covered as well. So yeah, we will be very much green today. We've already hit, we're about a day and a half goal, so it could have been bigger. Wish it was, but at the end of the day, it is not. So, no, actually, no, what am I talking about? We're two. So with this unrealized, now that Nvidia is starting to go, we're 2x. So if the goal is to make $100 on the day, we're at 200. That's what I mean when we say that kind of stuff. And again, we go back and forth about this, obviously. It doesn't matter. You don't need to have daily goals or anything like that. I'm just kind of doing it for the show, and meaning that it's like, I'll tell you when we're losing 2 or 3 times our daily goal, making 2 or 3 times our daily goal, and just hopefully the make outweighs the loss. And at the end of the day, just trying to show that no matter what your goal is, you know, and I'm not talking about $10 or anything like that, $100. Like,
you're talking about like P&L goals.
Yeah, I was talking about like, in order to pay bills and to feel like, you know, I mean, the bills keep going up, but in order to, you know, make a living, maybe that's kind of where I'm talking about daily goals. Yeah. So everyone's going to be different depending on where you live, so on and so forth. But yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, no, I think daily goals are too tired. I think daily goals are definitely really good, but not in terms of, I think not really like P&L, but more like
20-inch rims already.
Process and thing like that. Like I'll have daily goals, but they're never really related to like P&L. It'll be like something I'm trying to fix and be like, okay, my goal today will be no matter what I do, I don't want to fight the trend. And if I do that, then I've successfully completed that goal today, right? So it's like I'll try to have more daily goals, something along the lines of that. And again, it goes to like trying to be a little bit better every day. It's like if I know yesterday I fought the trend all day and that's why I got rocked, and then the next day I'll come in, I'll be like, if there's one thing I want to do today, is not to fight the trend. And if I don't fight the trend today, I will have been successful on the day, regardless of what the P&L is. So like I like using daily goals a little bit like that a little bit more. So and like you know, P&L will follow naturally if you're making good decisions. So
yeah, no,
Hood
same. I mean,
continues to
I'm lucky
crack.
I did go against the trend there because Nvidia turned out to be just
No,
like,
I mean you had it. I think you were buying at the right place.
yeah, but I'm just like going against the trend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the trend probably it doesn't break until probably we at least get here. I mean, does going against the trend mean me being buying underneath VWAP? Probably not. No. You know, so
Whatever your definition of, you know.
yeah, no,
fighting
this
the
was
trend.
just crazy trading. I mean, you could sort of see it turn around. And I mean, for me, I got to get over to the desk in a couple minutes, so I won't leave you stranded here. But again, you know, we finally started to see some volume coming in. Was wondering about these being capitulated bottoms again. And I don't think it was. We didn't have like an outstanding green candle here or anything like that. But we're starting to see it ramp up there and get to the downside. I sort of just had that feeling, which is why we tried it here. You know, we were trying.
No, I think that's perfect. You tried it twice and it worked extremely well on the third time.
Right.
That's perfect.
3 times the charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we say about being kind of lucky to have increased shutdowns, have the ability to take multiple swings at it and not really worry. Obi and I do have to be flat at the end of every day. I just want to thank everybody for watching and hitting that like. I don't know how many we have right now, but join me for after the market when we have a recap. It'll be Obi and myself. There it is, 700 likes. Let's see if we get that up to 800 or so. We have over 6,000 watching right now. Join us tonight at 4 o'clock, which is Adair and I over at the desk. We'll talk all about what this market brought today, and then we'll have Oracle. I think Oracle is going to be a real interesting name, man, as we have Operation Seagate or Stargate or Punch in the Face Gate. But yeah, for right now, Oracle, wow, 150. Okay, I mean, that's pretty beat up for sure down there to the downside. I'm just going to get out of Nvidia because I don't have anything else to do right now. So there it is, man. Nvidia will go P&L. So P&L number 1 for me, Palantir on the long. P&L number 2 for me, Apple on the short to start the day off with right there. So this is still my second best P&L name, which we got out at 11:30. So there you go on that one. P&L 3, Nvidia, Palantir, Qs, and then AMD. So wow, that AMD trade was just more shit, right?
Yeah.
Just like Robinhood, like you mentioned there. Took too many swings early, and then finally waited for 101. And I actually just looked back at last week's sticky notes. They all have, I mean, this is a lot of them. They all have AMD 101 written on them. Yeah. So that was a pretty key level. Join me tomorrow when we'll have Obi back here again.
Yes, sir.
And that should be a heck of a lot of fun. And yeah, my coffee's getting cold. I still have some left. Let's just see if
let's see.
Let's see if we do roll up the rim to win.
Roll that rim up.
Screw you, Randy, honestly. Like,
oh, no.
You know, I mean,
you need to roll it up all the way.
Why do I need
You
to?
just saw the please
when
and you
I see
were
the
like...
please play, I don't need to.
No.
I know
You don't
it's
need to.
again is the next word.
That's fair.
It's not like please play again. Oh, by the way, here's a winner. Like that's not, you know, I mean, I wish that was the way.
Said like a true trader. You don't need all of the information to understand the probabilities of the rest of the move. The rest of the sentence.
This is going to be pretty bad, but okay. Anyways, we still got one here. We had a winner from before, so we have one over here. And Randy was very generous to try to pass that other one off to me, but we change back and forth. One day I'll buy, next day he'll buy. So okay, peace out. Good trading day today. We'll check you on the flip side. Congratulations on some of those trades, and Adair and I will be guiding you through. I got to pick my kid up from snowboarding, who apparently had a fantastic day.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. And yeah, so this got to wrap up at 4:30 because I got to scram.
All right.
So if I don't stop, then I won't stop. So see ya, Obi.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean. Another solid day of market craziness. Right, pretty much some strong reds across the board. Some record numbers as well as Tesla. We talked about Tesla being down near in and around its most I guess sold off days. I think if I just want to pull it up here, let's see what we're ending at here as we do make some fresh lows. 15.8, so 16%. We are pretty much pushing into the territory of some of Tesla's worst days. Again, I think this would make it the top 4th worst day on Tesla. So 221 halves trading as of right now. And I think somebody in the chat pointed out earlier as well as 222 was a bit of a level in the past, and it's clearly kind of just holding and consolidating and hovering above that 220 level. So give or take a couple points. I think that's something to be something to have on watch for the rest of the week there. Tesla definitely giving us some strong moves, some strong market coming in as well. Market moves coming in off of the open, some strong participants. That RVOL we were talking about there. DLV in the chat saying, Obi, what are you buying in your personal account? And I think somebody earlier in the chat was also asking about how's my personal account doing. I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, I don't have a necessarily diversified account. I have a few names that I really like. And oh boy, that's some aggressive selling coming in here. You can see that on Tesla right here. I'll pull up the tape for you guys. Intel seems to hold its lows, but you can see this aggression coming in. Look at that speed and aggression. Shout out to Wayne for coining that term here on the floor. But yeah, that selling coming in strong into the close here. So Tesla poised to close at day lows here with only about 1 minute left, guys. So absolutely crazy for joining us. Thank you for spending your time here, and hopefully you guys, we asked this question earlier. Are you not entertained? Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like. What's going on? Yeah, exactly? We've got a shot of Fabian right here, but yeah, no. Are you not entertained? No, I'm just joking. But hopefully we provided some value, provided some entertainment, and you guys hopefully got something out of that. We had a lot of viewers today, so we would like you to join us once again tomorrow. But don't go anywhere. We got Sean and Adara for the market recap coming in a few minutes here. So with only about 20 seconds left, it does seem like Tesla's about to close near its day lows here on the day. So let me get that countdown timer ready because I see Adara standing at the bell as well. So yeah, no, traders stay late. Yeah, exactly. So let me know in the chat what you guys are up to tonight. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you very much, Dara. Let me know what you guys are up to tonight in terms of reviewing the day, in terms of scans. I'll be sitting here. I'll be watching the chat as well, kind of just listening in to what Sean and Adara have to say for the market recap. Again, we're still in the midst of earnings season. There's still a lot of things happening, and even with a very strong directional market that we've been having for the past few weeks, there are still lots of opportunities. You got to remember, market doesn't only go up. Market goes sideways. Market goes down. And when there's opportunities, definitely day traders are more likely to be found lurking in and around some of those opportunities. And I'm just trying to get a little bit better every day at doing that. So without any further ado, I think they're ready for us at the big desk. Stick around for the market recap with Sean and Adara. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.
All right, thank you, Obi. We are ready to rock and roll. Adara, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm muted. I'm back now, unmuted. Hi, Dara. That's what I'm saying. We're ready to rock and roll right now.
We are.
I'm just going to get the chat open. We are waiting for Oracle, so we do have Oracle earnings coming up in just a matter of minutes here. The expectation on Oracle, we'll check out your notes there. EPS of 149 is what we're waiting for. But EPS doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem like nowadays. We know companies like Nvidia continue to make money and put up great quarters downside there today. So we'll wait for Oracle, expecting it at 405. So we'll wait for that estimated revenue of 14.36 billion. Thank you so much for joining us here again today. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so immediately as we are waiting those numbers. We have over 850 likes. That's nice. So thank you to everybody for that. Look, not a huge earnings day here. We have Pay, we have Asana, and we do have, you like going to Asanas?
I've never been to a sauna other than like at a gym.
That's what I mean. You like going to saunas? No.
Not even sauna person. Also, I think there was a super chat maybe that came in the other day. Someone just tagged me to let me
Oracle.
know. Thank you very much to VizBot for the $5 super chat. Congrats, Sean. I'm only toasting with water from now on. VizBot out. Thank you very much, VizBot, for the super chat, and apologies for the lateness. I am so ready for this recap for y'all. Oracle, we cannot predict the future, but I foresee that Oracle earnings should be interesting, especially because they're part of that whole Project Stargate situation. From what I'm reading, investors are actually more excited to get some kind of update into Project Stargate, that $500 billion AI investment over the next 4 years. They want that more than they even want the number. So we have to really see if we get an update on that Project Stargate. I think that might actually be more key than the earnings report itself, Sean.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. People saying that Sean was pretty right. Oh, we were always on split camera there. My bad. I'm actually trying to log into the software so I can show some of my trading there today because we did pick up that bottom. Hold on a second on Nvidia. I don't want to necessarily talk about that all though today as we wait for that XLF bad day, man. We bought some. We bought some JPMorgan at close. We probably ripped up into the close. Of course we did. So we bought some JPMorgan today. JPMorgan has hit down to its 200 period moving average. I do want to ask Michael Noss about this. We are waiting for him to come through around 4:15. We'll wait. We're not going to go early. We're going to wait to see about that. But look, coming right into a nice little level there. XLF also a nice downside play. Today's market was really one that was led by downside tariff talk again. President Trump on Fox News over the weekend talked possibly about a recession as well. Yuck on that front. So we'll wait to there. What led to sell-off today? Unfortunately, it's Mr. Doge himself, Tesla. I have no idea how much this man has lost, but just in market cap alone, we're down 50% on Tesla in just over 3 months. So that high here in Tesla back, well, not even 3 months. I mean, basically the high was just at Christmas there. So what a great Christmas it was. You might have been thinking that you had unrealized gains, therefore you bought somebody a Tesla. But if you did that right now, hopefully you sold at the top because that was 480. We're down to 220 right now. And honestly, not looking like there's a bottom in sight. I mean, we like to play something off the 200 period moving average. We had recently bought some of this name. It is downside. So nice move down there for Tesla as that was really the name that helped press the Nasdaq lower. We're still waiting for Oracle, still in our ear, 405 coming out momentarily. Another big name, of course, that was to the downside early was Apple down into the 200 period moving average. You don't get many days where Apple's down 5 or 6%. That was today. That happened again there now as more worries hit with China, right? And again, Apple, if we are getting into the recession, I don't think we are, but consumers will be worried about that. You'll see the headlines all over everything, and that could cause some scare to the retail sector. You did see Amazon, I do believe, held up okay today, only down 2%. Google got, again, DOJ pressures on Google once again with Chrome. So Google made a nice high there on the day, touching in around 175, bouncing its head off the 175 mark and the 200 period moving average. But today, a pretty nasty day to the downside for Google, down 4.6%. Oracle's out. Okay, Oracle reported lower, $1.47 I just heard, versus Come on, my guy. Another downside move there. I don't even have Stream Deck open. So right now we do have a downside push for Oracle. We did talk about it possibly missing. 147 is what I'm hearing, Adara, versus 149. Adara will parse through all of the information and not misread it the way I probably am. But there's Oracle initially moving lower, now bouncing. So we will wait for the guide. Remember what I said. It don't matter what they reported, to be honest with you. Are they guiding forward? There it goes, Oracle. Yes, let's go, Oracle. Let's go, Oracle. Nice move. We are in this name. We'll wait to see if Oracle can bounce back. There it goes, 150. This is why I told Sharif, you will never make money here if you trade the close. So good, or at least earnings, which he was doing. Good thing you didn't do that, Adara, because that touched down to 137. Now the move is upside. Adara's going to get those numbers for you. On the daily, though, it needs to hold here, man. We are underneath the 200 period moving average. We do not want Oracle to fall too much lower than where we are right now, especially you get into these levels, 130, which is where we did. Look where we bounced off, 145, 135. Good bounce. What are we doing here in the after hours? Again, kind of going downside. Oracle, I have the sales. 14, you just tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's go over to Adair for the exact numbers.
Oracle missed on pretty much everything, guys. So $14.1 billion versus $14.39 expected for revenue. That is quite the miss. Adjusted earnings of $1.47 per share versus $1.49 expected. A miss. Adjusted income, $4.2 billion versus $4.3 billion expected. That would be a miss. They did have one beat I'm seeing right off the top here. Adjusted operating income. So this is actually also a miss. $6.2 billion versus $6.25 billion expected. That would be a miss. So right now, there's nothing they really beat on. Cloud revenue, I'm not seeing how that compares to estimates, but they reported $6.2 billion in cloud revenue and an adjusted operating margin of 44%. So that is the situation there for Oracle. In case you missed it, so did they. They just missed a lot here on these earnings. It is worth noting here the remaining performance obligations for the quarter were up 62% in USD. They also had their GAAP earnings per share were up 20%. Earnings per share here about 4% to the increase. So a lot of things were to the upside on a year-over-year basis. They just could not beat analyst estimates today, guys.
Yeah, okay, so Oracle right now is just dancing around right here, so we'll see. I mean, it's relatively flat. That's pretty good. I'll take that, honestly. But we'll see. It's always next day. Oh boy, Adara. Asana. It is getting pretty steamy in this sauna right now. The implied move, though, was 21%, so you're down quite a bit right now. We closed the day at 1666. Downside into $14, a little bit lower right now for Asana. Again, what do? Business development work management platform helps organizations orchestrate work from daily tasks. Okay, so very, very similar, maybe like a CRM here. Functional strategic initiatives. All right, so Asana, nice downside move. It's only down 20% year to date. Short float 16%. Asana downside there. Not looking great on the daily. Well below the 200 period now into $14. What do we got for Asana?
They actually... it's better than Oracle in terms of did they beat or did they miss. They did beat here on adjusted earnings per share, so $0. They reported 0 earnings and 0 losses, but they were expecting to report a 1-cent loss, so that would make it a beat. They also had here sales of $188.33 million, narrowly beating estimates of $188.1 million. Apparently, they had a 97.5% year-over-year increase for their earnings, which again were flat, but they lost last year. 10% year-over-year increase for sales. So not a bad look here for Asana for earnings. The only other one we're waiting here on is Paymentus. Let's see, PAY. Yeah, we did get those numbers here. Not really seeing, yeah, revenue here, $257.9 million. That would be a quarterly record. It is also up 56.5% on a year-over-year basis. I'm seeing a different number here for the estimate, so unclear how it, I guess, compares, but regardless, apparently 56.5% increase for their revenue.
All right, so I think that Asana, there has to be something up with that because those numbers that you read were pretty good, and Asana is really getting crushed. Downside.
Their CEO left. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Okay.
The CEO was leaving. Dustin Moskovitz has informed the board of his intention to retire. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Okay, no
Once
problem.
a successor is appointed, he will leave. Until that point, I guess he's chilling.
All right, Oracle also increases their dividend from, this is a pretty good increase actually, from 40 cents to 50 cents a share. That's not bad at all. A little 10 cents there, so you get a quarter, 25% bump on dividend from Oracle. Not many tech names are giving a dividend, so that's really nice to see that from Oracle. 40 cents to 50 cents, that's not bad. 50 cents on 150, that's gonna be, you know, not I don't know what the percentage is, it's still low. And then we also do have, they also predicted a $130 billion sales backlog for Oracle. So backlog is good, man. If they can have that, get their production ramped up, and they'll see what's going on with Oracle. But again, pretty much a nothing burger there for Oracle. I do see Michael Noss is in the green room, but I'm not ready for him yet. Michael, I do want to ask you about XLF because recently, last Monday, I believe, we talked about it potentially breaking out there in the financials. Since then, it has pulled back. I did pull the trigger on some JPMorgan shares at close down here at the 200 period. So I was waiting to get Michael's look on that one. I am holding Oracle. I'm holding a lot of names, guys. We're down Oracle down here in the $100 mark. So yeah, we've given back a lot of unrealized gains, but we did trim a lot of the names near the top. But when I'm talking about trimming, I'm talking about like 5 or 10%. It's not, we are still knee deep in many of these tech names. Let's just have a quick little overview there. We could watch out for Bitcoin. Again, another name that, and it's not, look, man, I mean, a lot of us have made calls on many different plays. There was a lot of people that were all bulled up and everything over Bitcoin up here when it was starting to break out, right? We all thought this $100 level. Actually, I put a poll out at 105. Where are we going? 150 first or 50? I was almost the only one putting 50,000. I don't think we're going to hopefully not get to 50,000, but this has really pulled off of 100 right now. And you can see Bitcoin right now, 77.5. Not a great look there for crypto, especially these last couple of days, and especially some of those coins that look like they got rug pulled a little bit, including Cardano, XRP, Doge, and the other one, Solana, not Doge, but those three that were named in that weekend tweet by Donald Trump 2 weekends ago, which all of a sudden put these altcoins and match them in the reserve. Talking about that, we didn't get the reserve talk that we thought we'd get there. So we'll wait to see some more details on that. But for right now, Oracle looking like it wants to head a little bit lower. What do you want to talk about?
I have some more stuff I want to mention here. So Asana, the earnings, again, we did mention they beat here in EPS and revenue up 10% year over year. The revenue guide was pretty bad here, 184.5 mil to 186.5 mil. They're guiding for Q1. Then for fiscal year revenue, 782 mil to 790 mil. Both of those guides were really missing estimates for the company. So yeah, lower than expected Q1 and fiscal 2026 guidance for Asana. That was for Asana. For Oracle, we actually have a little bit more as well. So they said they expect that their $130 billion sales backlog, which seems pretty significant there, apparently they're expecting that will end up driving a 15% increase in overall revenue. They also said that we had Larry Ellison saying the company's on schedule to double their data center capacity this calendar year. Additionally, here, their cloud revenue is up 23%, cloud infrastructure revenue up 23%. The other thing with Oracle, of course, as we mentioned, they are part of Project Stargate. Interestingly enough, right before the Oracle report about 10 minutes ago, JD Vance tweeted about the importance of companies investing in the U.S. We know Oracle's done that. So timing might have been coincidental, but I find it pretty interesting that we get that tweet right before we get Oracle earnings.
Yeah, and Oracle earnings, as you were talking there, Adara, actually made new highs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're in the pre-market, we're up to 152. But as we said already, you know, it's at a tipping point as well, man. I mean, everything's, not everything, but many names below the 200 period. Before I call on Michael, which is going to be in 1 second, I just wanted to quickly look over here. Excuse me, still fighting this little frog. All right, let's just go over and just have a look at what bled today, man. I mean, Apple down 5, not pretty. Nvidia down 5, Broadcom down 5. I mean, Broadcom had a good report. Broadcom is now underneath where they were before their report, and we were like, Mighty Mouse is here to save the day. Are they? Broadcom down. In technology services, Microsoft down 3, Google down 5, Meta down 5, Oracle now flat, but down 4. Netflix down another 3. That's not great, man. Salesforce, a name that I really like, down 3.5% as well. Some of the financial names, Berkshire holding forward a little bit there. Again, mainly in the insurance space and sitting on a crap ton of cash. As cash becomes king here in this kind of a market, with the market going to the downside, you can buy these dips, right? If he liked Apple at 240, he's going to like it at 220. We'll see what the next play is there for Berkshire. Let me know if you guys hear anything, because I'm very interested, and I do own some BH, Berkshire Hathaway. JPMorgan, we bought at the close, down 4%. That's an interesting name. Dun, 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 dun. We're loving McDonald's recently. All-time highs, down another 1.26% though today, so that could be a little bit of a buy. Novo Nordisk missed early, but Eli Lilly right there, down 4.5%. That's to the downside. Wow. There was some nice coverage though today in healthcare technology names, as J&J made a move higher, up 0.61. What symbol is this? Oh, AbbVie. Yay, I own AbbVie. AbbVie's actually been a great stock, ABBV. That's a nice one with a nice little juicy dividend as well. Some healthcare names. And then Michael might want to talk about this. He talks about relative strength and weakness. Today we did have a nice bump up in energy. So just to use the Trade Ideas platform one more time here, that's your stock heat map. We did have some up sectors today. Utilities and energy with XLE. Oracle is at after hours high right now and starting to go. Look at that. Nice little move up there to 155 and change. As again, Oracle, I like that backlog. They talked about that. That's basically a guide. They have a lot. They're 130 billion in backlogged orders. So, hey, if that's what's going to happen, that's a good sign. Is Nvidia getting any love in this after hours? Yes, they are. Is Tesla getting a little? I expect Tesla to be getting a little bit of a bump after hours, but they do not. Still 222 and change. It is time. Who's over there? Is that Ramin? It's Ramin, it looks like, I believe. We're ready to rock and roll. So it's Trader Talk. Let's bring them on. It's my good friend, Michael Noss. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been some time since we've run into each other on here.
I was going to say, I apologize that it's not Neil today. You're going to have to deal with me a little bit. But we'll keep going. Did you hear some of the talk that I had there about the financials? Like, I dipped in there. I was thinking all year round that, less regulations, hopefully some of that would be coming off. We talked about the financials getting a little bit of a bump with this new administration. They did get a huge one off of the election, but we've really pulled back in there. And again, a couple weeks ago, you and I and Neil, we were all looking at XLF. We thought, oh, good, this is looking like it's breaking out. It had some strength. But the last week and a half has been pretty poor for the financials. Are you still looking there? Do you like any of this? I did dip by some JPMorgan. Tell me that doesn't look that bad.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about your JPMorgan. It's funny. I bought some a little bit today too, and I'm planning on buying a little bit more tomorrow if the market holds. But first of all, just let's look at the financials. I got the XLF chart up here, and using an anchored VWAP from the major low of that yen carry reversal trade or something, that is acting as support kind of over and over and over again here, right? So we've got a level right here at 43 where it bounced. It bounced again in January, and we're right back to that level again. So I'm going to watch that zone really closely. And the reason for JPMorgan entry, again, I'm more into the kind of quantitative stuff as time goes on. I get more older and grayer.
Yeah.
This is a system that I have that's looking for mean reversion setup. So it's looking for very strong names that are pulling back pretty significantly. And this is a 25-year back test, and it actually does pretty well. And it actually does pretty well in bearish markets. So that is why I actually pulled the trigger on a little JPM today, and I'm going to look for some tomorrow. So again, the idea behind this is pretty simple. You're looking for strong names, JPMorgan, best of breed for sure, them and maybe Goldman Sachs in the financial sector, and you're looking for just a little bit oversold readings on some traditional, RSI and stochastics and that type of thing. And that's kind of what we're getting, where this is well oversold more than the rest, and very strong name getting into this level right here. So I think it all comes down to if XLF holds, then potentially this gap right here in JPMorgan could hold as well. That VWAP is interesting, the fact that we've bounced there twice, but we're going to be watching this. I think CPI is really going to tell when it comes to a lot of these financial names, because these aren't a big tariff risk. So that's kind of, I think of the financials as a little bit of baby with the bathwater, where they don't care about these tariffs. So what they care about is interest rates.
Yeah.
And I think CPI will tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, CPI coming Wednesday. There are people in the chat talking about maybe too early to buy the banks. That dip on XLF, though, Michael, wasn't that here in August 5th, 6th, 7th, right into there? So, I mean, if that hits us for XLF, man, we got to get all the way down to $41. That's another 20% from here. So let's hope that that doesn't come into play. Is there anything else triggering on? Because I'm really interested in those kind of best of breed names like you just mentioned, on those reversions, on those pullback. Is there anything else maybe that's on your mind right now? You don't have to talk your exact book, but is there anything maybe you're looking at to dip by a best of breed name? Because that's kind of where I am right now. I did buy the S&P 500 a little bit. I'm trying to nibble like 5% almost every week just to put it in, and at some point hopefully the bottom will be there and I'll catch it. But for right now, I'm just like index focused. Was there any other individual names that maybe has come across a scanner similar to the one that you just showed us?
Yeah, so I can go through a couple of those. One sector I want to look at today, though, is also ITB, right? So this is home builders. And home builders are actually holding well. This is a major level we got going all the way back to the beginning of 2024. It's bounced there 3 times. This is a sector I want to start taking a look at and diving into some of these names to see if I can get something in the home builder sector. And it's interesting. So we just talked about XLF doing a little bit better than the overall market, although pulling back. And then ITB, which is home builders, doing a little bit better in the overall market and holding support. This to me doesn't scream market recession and people are really worried about economy. This seems like it's entirely focused on the political kind of unrest and the tariff and all of that type of thing, because you wouldn't expect financials to be doing okay and you wouldn't expect ITB to be holding up as well if these things were doing okay. But JPMorgan, some of these other names that are interesting. So from the financial space, this LPLA, I need to look a little bit more, but it's LPL Financial.
Okay.
That triggered today on the same kind of setup. Again, really, really strong name, almost doubled off the 2024 lows, pulling back here, and FWONK. So Liberty Media Corporation, not so much in the financial space, but another one that's pulling back. I've been doing a lot of this trading. These algorithms that are looking for these pullbacks have done way better than any of my trend following systems over the last few months, which makes sense with where the market is. It kind of leads to a larger discussion, but I think that's what, as swing traders, we have to be doing more and more. I'm usually on here looking for big trends to continue for the long run. I don't think we're going to see that in the near future. So I think these little dip buys, you get in, you hope you get somewhere near a bottom. When it bounces in your favor, you get out and take your money and you move on. I think that's going to be more or less the way that you have to trade these names going forward.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Michael. And we actually have a question here in the chat from Sam asking what your take is on Nvidia. Right now, we know that these AI names have certainly been on watch with the market selling off. How do you view NVDA at this level?
Not really well. And the reason for it is I always look at what's kind of leading and what's lagging in the system. So we were talking about financials because they're closer to their all-time high. They're a little bit more interesting. I always look at it too as it's never generally the thing from the last cycle that gets us into a bull market in the next cycle, right? So, for example, and I say that as we're still not in a bull market. We're only down like 8-9% here. So, but you got to think about it. Go back to 2020. What got us out of that bear market or crash or whatever we had in 2020 was the pandemic names, from Peloton and Zoom and all of these. And then that took us to 2021, 2022, where we had the Russia-Ukraine invasion. That had a sell off again. And then what took us out of that is the AI plays. And that happens over and over again. Whatever kind of is the leader going into a bit of a pullback usually isn't the leader coming out. So that makes me want to focus a little bit more broad on different areas of the market. For me, it's if Nvidia can't make a new all-time high, I'm not really interested. And the way I look at it is that what's Nvidia going to do at this point? Double again and become a $6 trillion company? I just think there's interesting areas to be looked at for even the AI play other places. I just think this might be one of those names that it's kind of a little tapped out for a bit and can put in another sideways year, right? We're almost at a year of sideways action in Nvidia. Wouldn't shock me if this continued a little longer.
But Michael, isn't Nvidia best of breed? Like you and I just talked about that with JPMorgan, and I understand that, of course, we're talking about financials versus AI and basically tech. But if we are going to get a bounce in the Nasdaq, and we are going to eventually, people want me to ask you when moon, but we can't predict that. If we do eventually get that bounce in the Nasdaq, is it not going to be led by the leaders? Like, I mean, aren't we going to get going with Nvidia at some point? Like, I get that. Yeah, sure. I completely understand your logic. We're not going to 6 trillion. There are other names that we're talking about right now that could double. But at the same time, you and I bought JPMorgan down here at 230. It's not going to 460 anytime soon, which would be a double as well, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot of negativity around what is the best of breed name there in Nvidia. I mean, I don't want to buy AMD, although I think AMD could triple from this level, right? I mean, its top is 240 and you're down here at $90. So I don't know. Is there a name in the chip space maybe that you're looking at? I mean, I bought some Intel down there at 20, went to 28, round tripped all the way back to 20 again. We just had Broadcom come up with a huge report, had a nice move up 7 or 8%, actually held it that day, gave it all back Friday, gave it all back again today. Is there something in the Nasdaq 100 that is sort of getting you a little bit excited?
Yeah, I think it's going to be something else. And if anyone can help me figure out what that's going to be,
right.
That's the interesting thing. So we're looking at it like the semiconductors were the thing for a long time. They were the entire leader of the market. And what happens is these indexes are market cap weighted. So for a while there, Nvidia was the biggest company in the entire world and had the most effect on the overall market in the entire world. If we're going to rotate into another sector and into another name, that's going to lead for some pain in the S&P 500 for a while, which is, at the beginning of the year, I was saying expect a choppy year because I think that rotation is going to come. So if semiconductors are going to break out, I'm 100% with you. I think you go to the leader, you go to Nvidia, that's where you're going to buy. I just don't know if we're going to see another resurgence again in the semiconductor type space because I really think that there's going to be something else under the hood that is going to push us higher, and that thing is going to be the next story that takes us to new heights. I just don't know if it's going to be semiconductors and AI anymore. If I had to bet, when I was in New York with JC, we were talking to Dan Ives, who's a very famous tech investor. He was talking a lot about robotics. Okay. Now, that he was big on Tesla for that, but Tesla's getting just creamed here, so I don't know if I want to make that bet. But I have my eyes open more for what is the next theme that's going to take us to new highs, and less about what is the theme before and when that's going to recover. Now, the beauty of price action is I know when I'm wrong. If I start seeing SMH getting close to new highs again, then yeah, I'm 100% with you. Nvidia is probably going to be the name I pick up.
We did, you mentioned they're looking under the hood, which actually triggered my next question, and that would be Robinhood. We got a disappointment from Robinhood on Friday, as many traders expected that name to be included into the S&P 500 inclusions, which of course we got TKO, which is WWE and Endeavor. We've got DoorDash, and what was the other name? DoorDash.
We got Williams-Sonoma. We also got Expand Energy.
Williams-Sonoma as well. Thanks, Adara, for that. Look at this Robinhood chart, Michael. I mean, if you come over to my screen right now, I'll give you a second to have a look yourself. But this name, like, wow, what a darling for new finance names. There's a lot of traders that like this name, of course. Does come with a little bit of a short float, 3%. But look at this. We're falling right back in again into potential support down at the 200 period moving average. You could see its best day was its earnings day, as we have basically fallen since then. So any kind of rules about trading names, especially on disappointed inclusions, or we can even take the other way if you're now looking at some of those other names that have been included in the S&P 500. We saw Palantir go up huge on news like that. Do you ever trade around event-driven ideas like that?
I don't, because I think a lot of that's priced in, right? So Palantir did well on inclusion, and then we got to remember SMCI, right? Jumped right from the small caps to the large caps, and then the DOJ came knocking at their door. So, you know, it's one of those games that there's some people that play for very short-term action, and it does work algorithmically, but for the long term, I think you kind of guess in a lot of cases what's going to end up being included and what's not going to be included. Walgreens, when it was kicked out of the Dow, was actually, I think, bottomed around that time as well. But when it comes to Robinhood, I think Robinhood's a Bitcoin play. Whether it's warranted or not, the correlation that we're seeing to Bitcoin is just unmatched. So I think it's one of those, I like Robinhood. We're both Canadian, so we can't trade off it. But everything I've seen, it seems user-friendly. They're opening up accounts, they're doing a lot of good things. But if crypto as a whole is going to sell off, and specifically, some of the doges and the things that a lot of people are, the Robinhood degens over are trading, if those are going to suffer, then this name's going to suffer with it. So I think it's one of those, you got to get the animal spirits back, because I think Robinhood is the perfect animal spirits play. If people are scalping markets all day long, crypto and otherwise, this thing's going to do great. If everyone's kind of bored and scared of the market, I don't think they're going to do too well.
Michael, we just got the alarm there. I mean, how fast this time goes when you're having a good time. On a little bit of a lighter note there, I just saw an ad on the TV for White Lotus. Have you been watching anything recently, any sort of series that you're into? I know you're a busy guy with the family and looking at hundreds of charts, but is there anything you're watching right now of interest to you?
Not yet. I want to check out White Lotus. I've heard in every podcast I listen to, they say it's great. We just need to get to a point where both kids can sleep for long enough that we can sit down and watch something.
I got you. Yeah, I like White Lotus. We're also starting Severance, where I wonder if that would be good for that. It's where half your brain, like, you get cut off when you go to work. Okay, I get the picture. We got to get out of here. But yeah, anyways, we'll talk soon. Michael Noss, thank you again so much for joining us. Again, everyone can find you. Why don't we, got anything going on Stats Edge-wise, or where can they find you? What are you up to?
Yeah, just come over to statsedgetrading.com, and again, Michael Noss on all the social medias and all that, when they're all working, if they're back up.
Yeah, that's right. I was thinking about that. We had some issues with X today for sure. All right, Michael, thank you so much for all that talk, man. Great times. It makes me feel a little bit better that we both bought JPMorgan, but maybe in a week we just average in, so we'll see what happens right there. Thank you, Michael Noss. Take care. Say hi to the family for us, and always a pleasure. One of my favorites is Michael Noss. Thank you, my friend.
See ya.
All right, that's Trader Talk. Right, yeah, we're trying to wrap this thing up just really, really quickly because I got to go as well. Oracle right now starting to make that move higher, but then faded off of 158 back down to 153. That's going to be your winner here. Asana downside keeps on going. Holy crap, 1250 right now for Asana. That name just gets hit down 32+%. Paymentus Holdings down 5% as well as pay coming through. Adair, it's been a blast of a day.
What a day.
I think both of us are tired, especially you.
Yeah.
And we will be, you killed it today on the midday. So congratulations on that one.
Great to be back.
I think a lot of people really, really like that. But damn, Daniel, we got to wrap this show up. So it's been a blast. Thank you, Ramin, for staying late. Thank you, Obi. What a great call. What a great show we had with him. Joe. He's in the club already. Remember, I told you he's gone. So he's in the club right now. Ramin's still here. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. And most importantly, thank you to Michael Noss, who joined us twice today. And a big shout out to Bears, Bulls, Brendo, everybody, and to all of our viewers. So, hey, this is a peach.
And this is
cobbler.
Yeah. I like it.
See you tomorrow, everybody. 8:30. We'll be back.